a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name's Bart Hanson. I'm here with Dave Tuchman, and it's Wednesday, which means it's whale night. $25.50, no limit, $3,000 minimum buy-in, unrestricted maximum buy-in. A lot of fun, a lot of action.
Game I look forward to all week.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, let's head over to the table and let's get into it.
Let's do it. Seat number one, we've got NK.
I think he's new to the show, Dave.
Yeah, he is. New kid, I guess we'll call him. NK, get it?
Yep.
Yeah. Seat number four, we've got Mike.
Yep.
Corporation Mike there. And we'll like to see how he plays. I actually asked him, it's funny, always sharp-dressed. I actually told him to pick me up a couple of shirts next time we go shopping. Seat number five, we've got Sean. And Sean likes to play the high-limit mixed games. He'll often play in Yoshi Nakano's game.
Yep.
And play up to 200, 400 mixed games. So a lot of chips is not a big thing for him. Seat number six, we've got Jay Katsutani. And I know you're a big fan of his game. He's one of those guys. He's a real big action player, real good player, knows how to change gears.
Yep.
Gotta like his game. Seat number seven, we got Russ. We like to call him Hollywood Russ here. And he's looking Hollywood today. Nice shirt. Seat number eight, we've got Kenny. And Kenny Wynn there. Kenny's actually one of the tightest players, probably the tightest player at this table.
Definitely not passive, though.
No, he's not passive. He's tight, aggressive. He's a winning poker player. And it'll be interesting to see if he loosens himself up a little bit, playing only seven-handed here for the first beginning of the show. And seat number nine, we've got Mo. And Mo is always a chameleon. He can be action sometimes. He can be tight sometimes. Really does change his game.
And he will change it up as we play seven-handed to start this one up. Now, Adam was supposed to be in the game. He's not in the game, and we do have a seat locked for someone else who's on the way, so we shouldn't be playing this short-handed for very long.
No, traffic was a absolute bitch today, I must say.
Again, we're playing $25.50. Purple chips are $25 chips. Whites are hundreds. As we get into the first hand here, seat number five is raised it up to 300. Sean with King-Queen suited at Mike Straddle, and he's going to take it down without a flop. Button's going to move over here to Mo in seat 9. Again, $25.50, Dave. White chips are 100, so stack of white is 2,000. Stack of purples is 500.
Yeah.
So stack 500, stack of whites.
And it doesn't look like we have too much money on the table. The only person that looks like has a lot of money is maybe Russ over in seat number 7. Most of the table is actually probably around 3,000, maybe up to 5,000. But I would estimate right now we probably have close to maybe, I'm going to say close to about $35,000, $37,000 on the table. But we've seen oftentimes that a couple of guys go broke and it doubles up. Before you know it, you've got 60, 70, 80,000 on the table.
Looks like we got four-way action here, limped around.
9-4-4 flop now. Seat number 1 is ace-9. That's NK.
And he's going to come out and lead. He's going to bet 125. Look how easily Sean is not going to get involved with pocket sevens there. And there it is. Hey, we got a player there over in seat 3.
Yep.
And we've seen him on the show before. That's Oliver.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how Oliver plays in a matchup. Oliver's a pretty straightforward player, right?
He is. Yeah, he is indeed.
Pretty solid, and it'll be interesting to see how he plays with Mike and Jason and the rest of them at this table.
And again, I thought that Adam was coming into the game, so I guess there's a chance. I think he said he was going to have dinner and see what was going on. Played with him in the 5-10 game this afternoon, Dave, and he kind of got hit a little bit. Right. Maybe it lowered his spirits. Button moves over here to seat 1. That's NK over there, new player.
Well, he's one of those guys who Adam really likes to buy in short, see if he can run his money up, and if he doesn't feel like it's his night, he just goes home.
Big blinds in Sean's hand. It gets folded around here, and I think that Mike and Sean are going to chop it up there, and they do. This is a collection pot game, which means that when you see the yellow disc on the table. Whoever wins that pot, if it's over a certain amount, pays the collection for the entire table, which in this game is $13 per player per half an hour.
Now, if it's not a collection pot, what is the point of chopping it up there?
I never really understand that.
I mean, in this game especially, there's no collection.
Yeah.
Why would you chop that up? I don't understand.
Button moves over here to Mike in seat number 4. And Jay Katsutani there has got the big blind here, 2 purple chips.
Actually, they're both fun.
It's going to get folded around here to NK. Oliver, we're getting word he's going to buy for 5,000 game in C3. And NK is going to bring this one in. He's got ace, queen of spades. Looks like maybe 250 here. And Mike is going to call. On the button, we need to see Mike's cards here in seat 4.
Oh, yeah.
Mike has not been on the show recently. He's got king, queen. He's dominated here, Dave.
Well, lucky for him, he did not catch a queen.
Yep, ace 3-9 here on the flop. And NK is going to lead forward with top pair. He's going to bet 350. Mike has totally missed this flop.
Yeah.
And Mike is going to...
Now, it is a little short. Now, normally king-queen offsuit hits the muck for me there, but he is on the button.
Yeah.
It was only 7-handed. And it was a guy in the cutoff seat raising.
Yep.
So you might put those factors in and go, you know what, this guy doesn't necessarily need a big hold.
Hey, everything in poker is not absolute. When we say sometimes, boy, you don't like to call with king-queen offsuit, I mean, you have to understand the variables. I don't mind that call. I might make that call sometimes, too.
I mean, now, a different situation here. Now, Kenny Wynn is under the gun. Now, let's say Kenny Wynn were to raise here, and you were in Mike's spot. Would you call Kenny Wynn's raise with king-queen offsuit? No.
No.
Exactly.
Absolutely not. Button moves over here to seat 5.
Now, Mike's got ace-jack offsuit in the cutoff seat, and I got to tell you, if it folds around to him, I'm sure he's going to raise it up, and he does.
He's going to make it 200 here to go with ace-jack.
Yeah, 4 times the big blind, and that'll be the customary raise. You'll see people raising anywhere from, say, 175 to about 250.
Look at Jay Katsutani. He says, are you stealing? He's going to re-raise to 600 with queen-deuce. And Mike, I mean, he's not really stealing. It's a pretty good hand to bring a graze in from the
No,
cutoff.
it's not a steal at all. He's raising in late position. Now, the problem is this is really short stack poker right now. You look at how many chips Mike's got there.
Yeah.
Mike's only got, what, about maybe 1,500.
And he makes the call here, and this pot is quickly about $1,400 to the flop.
Problem is what is Mike going to do when he misses? I mean, Jay's obviously going to continue, right?
Well, how about this 10-10-4 here?
And this is the problem now. You go, are you stealing? And Mike puts himself in a spot where he calls with ace-jack, but now what do you do?
Jay's bet 600 into about a $1,400 pot.
And Mike's in great shape, but how does he know that? And I'm not sure if Mike had enough money to actually call that and then get away from the hand. He's only got about $1,400 left, so you're calling a $400 raise.
And look at that. And there you go. He moves in. And now the question for Jay is, how much more is it?
Yeah, and if it's not too much more, am I pot committed, thinking maybe I can catch a queen and win this?
It's 12. It was 1,200 on that street, and the pot is 2,700 plus this raise here from Mike. Looks like it's about, let's call it 1,000 more here, and Jay's not going to get involved. So it was about a $3,700 pot, 1,000 a call, and I just think that Jay thought that there was just
Yeah, I mean the question is, how much more is it? 1,000?
Yeah, $3,700 pot, 1,000 a call.
I guess if you know both of your cards are live, you can call.
That's a good flop.
But it's kind of difficult to know both of your cards are live. Maybe you think, okay, this guy's got a pocket pair. Maybe he's got 5s or 6s. My deuce is no good. My queen is good. I can't call.
Button moves over here to Jay in seat number 6. Again, we're playing 25-50, no limit hold'em.
And you'll see these guys go at it all night long, Jay and Mike. Now, Jay and Mike have some history that we're dating way back. A couple of weeks ago, Jay lost about $40,000, and I'd say 30 of which was to Mike. 6 of which was playing bowling.
NK is going to raise here to 200. He's got Queen Jack of Hearts. Now, Hollywood Russ gets away from Ace 10. Now, Mo, he's also kind of short stacked. He's got pocket 9s, and he's going to see the flop here from the blind.
Now, a lot of these guys here are playing it pretty short, aren't they?
Yeah. And here we go to the flop. Wow, look at this.
Oh, wow.
Top set for Mo, and NK's got overcards and a heart draw. And Mo, as he often does, will check his big hands.
I got to say, the money is going in here.
And NK is going to bet here 300, Dave, into about a $400 pot. And let's see what Mo's going to do. Mo's going to mini check raise here. He's going to make it 300 more.
Well, Mo is in danger here. If a heart comes and the board does not pair, he's going to lose his hands. But he has no reason to think that he's in danger at all.
And it's 300 more here for NK to call. And if he makes the call here, and this pot is quickly about $2,500. Here we go to the turn. The turn's a heart, and NK makes it. He makes it here, and Mo's going to lead out with the set. He's going to bet 600 into about an $1,800 pot.
And if this board does not pair, NK is going to win this pot.
Yep. It's a $2,400 pot, 600 for NK to call. And the only thing you would be behind is if Mo check raised you with the nut flush draw.
I think
NK's going to raise.
Yeah, I think at this point, why not build the pot up? Mo doesn't have enough money to get away from it. I imagine Mo's going to move in here.
He's going to make it 900 more, and all the money's going in here, folks. And this pot is going to be about $6,500. They're going to ask if they might want to run it multiple times here. Oh, he's going to say one time. Well, Mo needs the board a pair.
And some players do that. Some players they don't want to run it more than once.
Here we go to the river. And the river is a fourth heart, and NK's going to take it down.
And running hearts. They just keep coming.
Obviously, it doesn't really matter how that hand played out. Probably all the money's going in with the stack sizes. But, you know, one thing, we'll be honest with you, I like Mo's game. And he's been listening to us for a while, but he doesn't really go with the, some of the theories that we go with about betting forward with your strong hands. You know, if you check raise a flop there, a guy might get away from pocket jacks, but if you actually lead into him, you might make more money with your set of nines.
I agree, I really do. I mean, the interesting thing is if he bets right into the queen jack of hearts, there's a good chance the queen jack of hearts raises him there.
Right.
He can then re-raise and get it all in with the best hands.
Right. And we're getting word
and
that
like you said, obviously, if he has jacks or queens. Now, Mo's argument, though, is if the guy has ace-king and I bet into him, he just throws it away. I make no money.
Well, I mean, how about this retort from that when Jonas flopped tens full, bet on the flop, and Mo called him with ace-king.
Hey, there you go.
On the flop. And then turned to king.
Yeah, I like your retort.
Yeah. Straddle here by Mike. And the big blind completes, and Mike is going to raise to 250 here. We need to see his cards. Now, NK has got king 9 here, and Mike has got king queen. And look at this, Mike's flop trip queens. The pot is already $500. NK checks, and Mike is going to bet right out with trips here.
And he's probably going to take it down, and I hope that doesn't cause Mike to start slow playing again. But I like the bet, I really do.
Yeah, he bets 400, he takes it down, you can tell he's a little bit upset.
And you're not going to make money on every single hand.
As often, we always see that Mike will raise out of the straddle spot maybe 30 to 40% of the time.
And I like it. Mike's got to keep betting those because what happens is if you keep betting it, somebody's going to try to make a move because they think you're making a move. Just like we saw Jason do before with Queen Deuce.
Right.
I was thinking maybe I could tie it. I was right.
Button moves over here to Kenny. And again, we're playing 8-handed here. Oliver has not entered the pot. He's waiting for the blind. Gets folded around to Russ. And Mike is straddling again because now Mo has moved and he's taking the big blind over there in seat 2. Mo limps in here. Mike has got ace-7. Might he raise here in position? No. It's going to be interesting if an ace flops out here, Dave.
I'm wondering why Mo moved to seat 2. You wonder if he wants position on NK, specifically NK.
Queen Jack 6 here on the flop. Mike checks. Excuse me, Mo checks. Mike checks right behind him here.
I know that.
Yeah, you bet on the flop.
Turns a 10.
And they both picked up the same gut shot. Neither player is free rolling.
Check, check again here on the turn.
The 7 does not play.
And the river here is a 3.
Actually, the 7
Yeah, no, the
does
7
play.
is going to play.
I'm sorry.
Mike's going to win it here with ace-7. Ace high.
I just saw Queen Jack 10 out there. I just assumed the 7 wouldn't play.
Again, it's funny, you see kind of the respect that Mike shows Mo. I think he would raise heads up with ace-7 against almost any other player versus blind versus straddle there. But there he chooses not to. And he's going to straddle for the 3rd time in a row here, as Oliver now takes the blind in seat 3.
Yeah, I think he's often said his record is 6 times in a row.
Yeah.
So this will be 3.
I'll do it, because I'll pay every player to get up.
And what are the odds, you know?
Yeah, it's really funny that Mike would chop anytime in the blinds, especially the way Mike plays. You'd think that he loves to play kind of heads up.
Yeah.
Like that. Steal those blinds as much as he can.
Jay's going to raise here to 325 from seat number 6. He's got pocket 8s here, 2 red 8s.
He buys himself the button.
Now, Sean had limped in under the gun with King Jack. Is he going to make this call? Nope.
One thing about Jason almost never shows his cards to his opposition. Almost never.
You know, it's funny, you were telling a little anecdote last week about how Jason, he's an aggressive player, but he often will not straddle. Actually, rarely straddles because he does not like to play hands out of position. Sometimes you said he went a point through his career where he wouldn't even play his hands in the blinds.
Yeah, when I first met Jason, this was a while ago, and I was playing No Limit with him. And I mean, this is dating back probably a year and a half, a year ago, something like that. And he would literally get up, not play his big blind, not play his small blinds, not get the button, and then post the small and the big blind behind the button. So he'd actually lose 3 hands, and obviously I just don't think that's positive EV in the long run. I think it's more important just to learn how to play out of position.
Jay is limped under the gun here with Queen 9, and what a flop for Jay here. And Mike's got top pair. Oh, man. $150 bet here by Jay. Open-ended straight draw with the flush draw, and Mike is going to check raise here with Jack Deuce.
And look at this, and Jay is actually a big favorite here. You can see he's almost a 2-to-1 favorite.
And Mike said big draw. That's what he said he had, but Jay's got the big draw here. Check raises here to 300. And let's see what Jay's going to do. He can really put a big re-raise in here if he wants. And he's going to move all in here, Dave. He is going to move all in.
Moves all in. Wow.
And, I mean, Mike, early in his career, he'd have a tough time getting away from top pair there, but there he easily folds Jack Deuce.
Well, I mean, it's the really evolution of Mike's game, and he's taken his game to a new level where he is now a real dangerous poker player.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of put the ingredients of Mike's game in there where he's aggressive, he's fearless, he's got a good idea of what's going on in the sense that he really does read other players well. He knows where other players are.
As always, we like to keep this show interactive. You can email us at live@thebike.com. You can also follow a live thread start on the internet.
Well, look at that, though.
2plus2.com spelled out. Click on forums, World Poker Tour, etc. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but I mean, Jason Kachitani, as we talk about it, he's actually straddling, and that's very rare for him, like you pointed out. It's funny, even over a year ago, Jason realized the importance of position.
Kenny Wynn here has raised it up, looks like with a couple of 10s, and he's going to take it down there without a flop.
And you look at the respect that Kenny Wynn gets.
Mike knows his math. You can hear him in the background talking about how obviously he can't make that call against Queen 9. He's a fairly big dog.
Yeah, he was almost 2-to-1 dog.
Yeah. I mean, Jay's got an overcard. He's open-ended with a flush draw.
And that's one of those times somebody goes, well, man, he overbet the pot so much. Well, he overbet it. If he gets called, he's got a lot of outs. And obviously there's a huge amount of fold equity there.
What happens if you don't?
If you don't, you have to give everybody at the table $100.
Button moves over here to Mike, and Kenny Wynn is going to raise. We need to see his cards in seat number 9. Mike is going to call here with looks like 9-6 offsuit.
I can see one picture card in Kenny Wynn's window, but I don't know what else he has.
Again, we need to see Kenny Wynn's cards. Jay is going to call with... Actually, Jay's going to re-raise here with pocket 8s. And Kenny's got King Jack of diamonds here, and he's going to make a quick call.
Now Kenny raised in kind of middle position with King Jack suited. Now, this game's a little, well, not really. It's 8-handed. I mean, it's not that short.
Mike has got 9-6 offsuit here. He gets away from it now. Is Sean deep enough to make this call with pocket 3s? Looks like he's got 3,000. He's going to make the call. And we've quickly got about a $1,300 pot here. Jay Katsutani, the re-raiser.
Wow, 2 pair.
Wow, and Kenny Wynn's flop bottom 2 here. Ace, King, Jack.
Now, it's actually a great flop for Kenny in the sense that, you're almost hoping some guy's got Ace, Queen, something like that. But in this case, nobody's got anything.
And it looks like it's gotten checked Kenny, and he's going to bet. He's going to bet 550, kind of weak, but obviously Jay and Sean's horrible flop for them, and they're out of there. And the interesting thing about Kenny Wynn there is, as opposed to some other really tight players we see on the show, Kenny might bet pocket 9s there, or pocket 7s, use his position and take down the pot, whereas we see some other kind of tight passive players never do that, Dave.
Right. No, definitely. He is a tight, good, aggressive player. If you really wanted to model your game after somebody, he would not be a bad player to model the game after. I mean, tight, passive, weak is not going to bring the bacon home.
Hollywood Russ is in the big blind here, and Sean is on the button. He's going to raise with Jack 9 of hearts. He's going to make it 200 to go here. And Russ is not going to play. Ollie Russ has had a real good run here on the show in the last few months.
He has. He really has. You know what? He's tweaked his game a little bit, and he was asking me the other night about last Friday's game. He goes, hey, what do you think, Dave? Actually, last Wednesday's game. What do you think? And I said, well, I like the fact that you're opening up your game. I go, you know, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think you're opening it up a little too much.
Yeah.
You know, with hands like ace-7 offsuit.
Seems like already we've got some questions, you know, some people that haven't been listening to this show the last couple of days. Where is Barry Woods? Well, Barry's decided tonight to take his game to another casino, I think just for a change. Hopefully it's just this week.
Yeah.
And, again, I think he got some advice from a couple friends saying that, oh, the people know you too well here. You have to change it up. And Dave and I made it clear that we love Barry in the game. We couldn't disagree more.
Yeah,
You know, he's having a bad run of
he's
variance.
been really running bad here.
Yeah.
And, you know, hey, if you believe it's where you're playing, then there might be some truth to it. And it probably does pay to move for a week or so. Because if you believe it, sometimes, you know, it's kind of the self-fulfilling prophecy.
Four-way action here, limped around. And look at this, seat number 6 here.
Jason
Jay
Katsutani.
Katsutani on the button has flopped the nut straight here. 6-5 deuce. And he does not bet. It's a couple clubs out there. Turn is a 10. Really surprised that Jay didn't bet there with his style.
Now, the problem with his hand here is he's in, look who's in the pot with him. NK, Russ, and Kenny. And nobody's really going to fire at this.
He bets 250 here. And let's see what Kenny's going to do. Now, I'll play a little devil's advocate with
Go
you
ahead.
here. You know, maybe what Jay would say, well, NK hasn't folded his hand and he only has ace-5. Maybe what Jay would say is, well, yeah, but if I actually give them a chance to maybe hit top pair and then raise them on the turn, they would think that I would have bet a good hand on the flop, and they might call me with a hand as single as top pair because I'm so active.
Oh, I don't mind the play at all. I mean, Jay, almost 90% of the time, Jay bets his hands.
Yeah.
It's okay to mix your game up once in a while, especially with these guys know him so well. That's fine. He also knows that with that kind of group of players, you know, Kenny Wynn in the game, Russ there, they're probably not going to take a shot at it. You know, if you got Mike or Mo in the hands, they might take a shot at it. But it's funny, though, now that Mo has already lost his first buy-in, sometimes Mo gets a little conservative in this game. It's a little bit big, and it's not really action Mo in this game.
Four-way action limped around. Look at this. Oliver's limped in here. Early position with ace-3 offsuit. And he flops a wheel. Deuce 4-5.
Man, everybody's flopping straights here. And nobody else has got anything again.
Well, NK is going to lead out here. He's got the top end of a gut shot with 8-7 here. And Oliver is going to immediately raise here with the wheel. He's betting out an 8-7. Obviously, if he hits a 6, he'd have the nuts.
Yeah. Well, and NK probably has no reason to think, well, I got a 6, a 7, or an 8 might be good for me. Why not bet it? Oftentimes we point out that if you have, let's say, king, queen, and the flop comes out 9, 10, deuce, we have overcards plus the gut shot. That's not a bad hand. Same thing here. Especially in an unraised pot.
And he's going to get away from it.
And look at that. Turn actually would have been a 7. The river was a king. But you wonder if NK gets involved with a 7. I doubt it.
Probably not. Wouldn't imagine so. Button's going to move over here to seat 9. Kenny Wynn. Again, we're playing 8-handed right now.
And once again, we're live at the bike. I'm David Tuchman here at Bart Hanson. You're watching No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 25 and 50. And this is an unrestricted buy-in game. You can buy in for as much as you want. Minimum buy-in is $3,000. And we probably have close to about $45,000 on the table right now.
Mike is limped in here in seat 4. So is Jay. We need to see Mike's cards in seat 4. Russ is going to limp in. Russ limps in with a Jack-4 spades here in the cutoff.
Oh, no, I keep forgetting.
And look at this. Kenny Wynn's got pocket aces. He's going to make it 525 here on the button. Ace of spades, ace of hearts.
And he's obviously going to win this. Now, that's a big, big raise there. Now, you can understand, normally, let's say you normally raise 200 and you get 3 limpers. Well, then you might bump it up to 350. 525, man, you're not going to get any action. I guess you're only going to get action if somebody had limped in with kings or ace-king. And you might not even get action there because you're Kenny Wynn.
Looks like we're going to have a dealer change here.
I mean, I'll throw this at you. Let's say you had limped in an early position with ace-king, waiting for a limp re-raise. Or let's say you limped in with queens in early position, waiting for the limp re-raise. And you figure maybe Mike or Jason would raise, right? Now, they limp in also, and Kenny Wynn makes it 525. What do you do with your queens?
It's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, it really is.
Mike is going to straddle here in seat number 4. Button's going to move over here to Sean, or excuse me, NK in seat number 1. Wow. So it's going to be 100 to call here as Mike is straddled. And Jay here is going to raise. He's got big slick suited, ace-king clubs, and he makes it 300 here in early position. Now NK is on the button. He's going to fold. Mo's out of there. And Mike is going to give him some action here.
Yeah, we're not sure what Mike's hand is, though.
Yeah, we need to see Mike's hand in C4. And the flop comes 8-6 deuce with a couple of clubs. Jay's got overcards.
Mike, what do you got,
with the
buddy?
nut club draw.
400.
And Mike has king 5 here. He checks, and Jay bets 400.
They're going to pick up Mike first. And then his card goes there. Mike first his card.
I'm trying to keep it a mystery, you know what I mean?
And Mike's out there. What a big hand there for Jay.
Like you ever see on TV,
Okay.
and they have the question
If Mike
mark
doesn't show his
questions.
hand next time, I'm going to go out there and smack him in the head.
Put one card in the window.
Button moves over here to C2.
Yeah, there we go. Making it real exciting. I like that. Next time I get aces, I'm going to do that. Go ahead and give them to me, Brian.
Next round, Mike.
Oh,
We'll know what to look for then.
close, close.
200.
$200 raise here by Jay Katsutani. 3-4 offsuit. In real early position here. Now Mike has got ace-10 in the blind. He's going to defend. He's going to make the call. So here we go. 3-4 against ace-10.
Yeah, ace-8 is not in the hand.
Well, look at this. Jay here has got a pair and a gut shot, and he's going to bet. He's going to bet 150 here, but Mike has ace-10, and Mike's going to check raise. He's going to make it 500 to go.
Now, Jay's got a lot of outs here. This is not a bad flop for Jay, even if you put Mike on an ace.
And he calls, and this pot is quickly $300 here to the turn. The turn is an ace, and Mike's got trips.
Now, I was going to say, obviously, before that ace comes on the turn, Jay could have picked up a 3, a 4, or a 5 to win this pot.
Again, it's a $1,400 pot here. Mike check raised Jay. Jay called. And let's see what Mike is going to do. He's going to come out and lead again. He's going to bet 1,000 here.
And the only thing you wonder here, is there any way you would not put him now on ace? Would you put him maybe on hearts? And I like the bet. I got to tell you, I really do. Jay might think Mike is making a move here. Jay might put him on a flush draw. Thinking his pair of threes is good. That second ace out there really starts putting some doubt in your head. And
look at this. Jay's going to move in here.
That's
He's
right.
going to move in, and I think Mike is instantly called.
Yeah, that second ace really cost him there.
Jay needs a 5 here and a 5 only, Dave.
Yep.
And these guys do not run it, and the river is a 6, and Mike is going to double through here, Jay. And I think what you said was true. I mean, all those combination factors there.
Well, it's one of those interesting places where, you know, Mike will check raise with an awful lot of hands. A hand as weak as a deuce. He will check raise with, say, a 4 or a 5 in his hand where he has a gut shot. He will also check raise with hearts. And obviously with an ace. Now, when the second ace comes out there, it just puts a little bit of doubt in his in Jay's mind. And I think Jay would probably agree that that second ace cost him that pot.
What a great hand, Dave, early on in the show.
Yeah. I mean, it
Unbelievable.
seems like such a, you know, such like a nothing hand there. But before we know it, it's another $10,000 pot.
Email here from Cadge Poker. How can I get a poker pads with the bike logo on it? Interesting. I'll let my producer handle that. And the button's going to move over here to seat 3. Email here by KMA talking about what do you mean by running the cards multiple times. You can check out liveatthebike.com. Look over on the left-hand corner of the screen saying, as seen at Live at the Bike, and it'll describe it here.
Yeah.
Limped around here. Queen 8-6.
Yeah, Mike's got the best hand here with 7-6.
Well, Jay is going to move in here on a straight draw for 300 short, and Mike is going to call.
Straight draw.
You're right. Actually, he doesn't have a straight draw, does he?
He's got nothing. He's drawing dead.
No, it's over now. Mike's going to win it there with the 6.
I'm like looking at it. I'm going, man,
Thought it was a gut shot. You're right.
he had a pair draw.
Right. Backdoor clubs.
Right. It was funny that email from KMA. He actually said, quote unquote, playing it again, and what it is, it's actually running it more than one time.
Right.
Now you can check out our website, liveatthebike.com. We've all got a bunch of neat features on there. We've got my blog, Under the Gun with David Tuchman. We've got Bart's bio, my bio. We've got our terminology. Go to As Seen on Live at the Bike. You can also subscribe to the archives, where we've got, I mean, probably close to 2,000 hours of content. And we're talking Barry Greenstein, Kenneth James, Kathy Liebert, Doyle Brunson, you name it, they've been on the show.
Button's over here in Mike's hands in seat number 4.
Hey, Mo, when the music stops, sit down.
Yeah, yeah.
And Mo's going to move back over here to seat number 7.
Now, I got to tell you, that's the seat I would want. The seat is behind Mike, it's behind Jay. Now he's got position on the 2 biggest action players in this game.
NK is raised here to 200 with ace-jack. Mike is called with 6-8 on the button, and Jay is in there with a little 4-5 suited in the blind. Well, NK is flop top pair. Nobody has diamonds. Mike's got middle pair, but is Mike really going to continue on here with a black 8-6? NK is going to lead forward here with ace-jack, top pair, top kicker.
And I think this hand is over, unless Mike wants to make a move at it.
It looks like he is...
He just called here, right?
No, it is a little mini raise. He's going to raise it 400 more here. Now, is ace-jack going to continue on here without a diamond? The pot right now is about 1,300, 300 to call.
It's an odd raise by Mike, though. Okay, now you got to start thinking, would Mike raise with a pair?
Mike is now showing a card. He's showing the 8. There it is.
Well, I mean, I guess. Showing the card is an odd play. Now, was it a raised pot or no?
Yeah, it was. It was $200 raise. And look at that. NK gets away from it.
I mean, you wouldn't put Mike on 2 pair there, would you? I mean, is Mike calling a raise at Jack 8 or 8-3? I mean, I guess Mike being Mike, he could call with Jack 8.
Interesting announcement here. If you head over to cardsharks.com, cardsharks.com, you can click on it on our website on the right-hand side of the screen. Oh, actually, you can't. Go to card-sharks.com. There are 3 different shirts that are on sale with Live at the Bike sayings on them, and I'll get to that in a second here. Actually, they say, I love it when someone pushes all into my nuts. Number 2 says, I watched Live at the Bike. All I got was this lousy T-shirt. And number 3 is unbelievable. Again, card-sharks.com and click on Live at the Bike when you get to their website.
You're right, you can't just say it like unbelievable. You got to do it like you say it.
Hollywood Russ is going to limp in here with big slick suited in seat 8. Mike is going to limp with ace 9.
And Mo has got the ace 7. I don't think he's going to raise here. No, it's $250 pot.
5 ways. Here we go. Queen, 6, deuce.
I got some of that, Russ.
Doesn't look like anybody has top pair here.
No, I think Mo has the best hand here with Queen 6 deuce. So Sean's got the best hand.
Yeah, and Sean is going to bet on the button with second pair.
Hey, why not? If it gets checked to you, you're on the button, you got a pair, why not?
He's going to bet 275, and he's going to take it down there.
Yes, sir. Huh?
Now, tomorrow night is, again, planned to be a pot limit night, right?
Yeah, pot limit 10-20.
10-20 pot limit.
And we'll confirm that with Mo at some point today.
Yeah.
Button moves over to seat number 6. Kenny Wynn is going to be under the gun. He's first to act.
Hollywood Russ is in the big blind. Again, 25-50 here. Purples are 25s, whites are 100s. Jay Gatsutani has the button in seat number 6. Looks like we get an ace-queen offsuit here for Mike. 1 off the cutoff. I sense a raise coming, and he does. He makes it 200 to go.
And why not raise it? Pretty straightforward, and he takes the money down. Now, I'm proud to say about our archives that they're kind of been reorganized.
Yeah, they are.
Much easier to actually find the show you're looking for. If you're looking for a specific show with a specific person in the show, it's much easier to find it. Check it out. Just $14.95 gets you at everything.
Yeah. Button moves over here to Mo in seat 7. Now, Oliver is probably going to play it very tight, like you said. Pretty straightforward player in seat 3.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder. I mean, obviously, we're not going to start guessing about his finances, but I haven't seen him play at this level before. You wonder, is he comfortable playing at this level? Yeah, it probably is, but who knows?
And Mike did straddle 3 times in a row, guys. $200 raise here by Sean.
If Mike was allowed to, he'd straddle every time.
And NK calls with 8-10 of spades, and NK's got a gut shot and a spade draw to the blind. Let's see how he's going to play it here, Dave. Is he going to lead out or is he going to check raise? And Sean's got top pair. And NK is going to bet. And this is what we talk about.
I like
If Sean raises, NK's hand is really big enough maybe to move over the top. Well, Sean is just going to call. 500 and... Oh, wait a minute. No, he's going to raise.
Now, the only problem here is the amount of money Sean has left, there's no fold equity. There's zero fold equity.
He's going to raise here, and it looks like it is maybe a $1,500 raise.
And this is pretty much move all in or fold if you're NK, and it's pretty much a coin flip. And I imagine with the money already dead in the pot, you just move all in here, right?
Well,
Put the guy in
he
ace
does
jack.
just have a gut shot, obviously, so it's not as good as an open-ended straight draw and a flush draw.
He's still got 12 outs, though.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, you're pretty much a coin flip, even against pocket aces.
The
Doesn't make a difference.
Pot right now is about 3,000, 1,200 to call, and basically it's pretty much an all-in call or a fold here.
Of course. What are you going to do? You're going to call this, and then you miss the turn, and then you're going to fold in the turn? You can't do that.
He's getting about a $3,000 pot here.
Now, this is a pure math question because there's no fold equity whatsoever. I mean, Sean has put over 70% of his stack in the pot.
Yeah, Sean looks like he only has about 1,200 left in seat 5.
No way he folds this now. I mean, you could probably show him. I mean, you'd have to show him a set for him to throw this away.
Yeah, but the thing here, though, is, well, I guess like you say, with the dead money in there, it might be worth it just to, kind of gamble it
You
out
have
there.
to. Well, it's not really a gamble. How big is the pot right now?
Well, right now it's about 3,000, and let's see what he's going to do here. He is going to... Is he going
He just calls.
Wow, he's just going to call. Well, this is going to be interesting. And the turn's a 10. Now he's picked a pair up as well.
Yeah,
More outs. So he checks.
He checks, and of course, Sean's going to move all in, and you had to know this was coming.
Yeah, and I think he has to call even with one card to come. I mean, look at the percentages. He's got a flush draw, a straight draw, and he makes the call, and the river is a 3, and Sean is going to take the whole thing down with ace-jack.
I don't hate the way NK played the hand. I really don't. The only thing I'm going to throw at you, Bart, okay? And I don't know if anything changed or not, but being aware of how much money Sean has. Oftentimes, we like to bet into our opponent because then they raise, and then you can re-raise with your monster draw. Now, if they call you, okay, great, you've got a draw. If they don't call you, okay, well, you've got the fold equity. But in this case, Sean didn't have that much money. So might you want it, might you want
actually
it to
check raise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
you
this one case, only because of how much money Sean had.
Obviously, you have to always be aware of your stack sizes and such.
I mean, you want to try to play this game 1 or 2 or even 3 steps ahead of your opponent.
Because
try to
obviously,
see what's going to happen.
If you bet out and he raises, then there's no fold equity if he has an overpair with ace-jack. But if you check raise him, there might be some fold equity.
Well, that's the thing. If you check to him with your big draw,
right,
he bets 400, and now you come over the top for 1,200. Well, then he might be really scared with his ace-jack, and he might lay it down. Who knows? I don't know.
Ace-jack obviously can't beat queens, kings, or aces. Remember, the guy smooth called out of the blind.
Can't beat a set, can't beat 2-pair, can't beat a lot of things.
Gets folded around here to Oliver. Mike straddled, and Oliver's going to raise with 9s.
Now, I'm not normally an advocate for that play. I would much rather bet in with my big draws and my big hands. But
Oh, you got 2 9s. Come on.
Oliver takes it down there with the 2 9s.
I mean, one time, show me a bluff, and I'll give you some.
Button's going to move over here anyway.
And hear what Mike says there. One time, show me a bluff, and I'll give you some action. That's one of the reasons it's always funny. I sit down with Mike, and Mike always kind of laughs at me. He goes, "Man, Dave, you give me a lot of action, Tuchman. You really do." He actually says, he goes, "Tuchman, you give me too much action." And one of the reasons I give him action every once in a while is because I want his action.
Button moves over here again. Kenny win in seat 9. Now, Hollywood Russ is going to bring this one in for a raise. He's got queen 9 offsuit. He's going to bring it in for 250 in the cutoff. And I don't think Mike is going anywhere with ace 10
Russ,
here.
I'm pissed. I bluffed off 2 grand to you.
He's going to call. So we're heads up here. Queen 9 against ace 10. Sean is out of there with the other ace 10.
Now, this is a different case, and I like it. Russ is raising, but Russ raised in cutoff seat. Now he's got position. And when Mike checks to you and Russ continues, Mike can't call.
Russ bets on second pair here with queen 9.
Right. And regardless of what the flop was, as long as Mike had missed the flop, Russ could bet and take it down.
Obviously, though, Mike is savvy enough to sometimes check raise with air.
Oh, of course.
On the flop. We've definitely seen that before. Button's going to move over here to seat 3, Oliver.
Is somebody on 2+2 saying that Mike's going to slap me around?
We're going to do first chip count of the night here, Dave. Oh, look at this. Russ has got almost $12,000. We've got almost $43,000 on the table. Let's take a look at the differences here. Well, Sean is up. He's up 3 grand, and NK is he's down 1,500. Jay is actually down 5,200 right now.
Now, Mike was down 2,000 right before the show started, and you said Russ got most of it, but he made back that from Jay.
Yep. 3-way action here. 6-4-3 with a couple spades. Pocket 5s looks to be the best hand now.
It's not a bad flop for fives. I got to tell you, he's got 5 of spades as well. Just gives you one more out there.
Jay's going to bet 225 here with ace deuce. He's got a gut shot wheel draw that really isn't worth much because if a 5 would come, anyone else would have a higher straight. And Russ raises with pocket 5s. That's probably going to do it here for Jay.
I love the play by Russ here. I love that play by Russ. Russ is playing, and he's got to realize that not only does he probably have the best hand, but if he doesn't have the best hand and he gets called by Jay, he's in position and he has a big draw. I love the play by Russ. Really do. And that's the part of Russ's game that he's really developed over the last 2 or 3 months, making him a lot more dangerous. I mean, I got to be honest, and Russ can take this for better or worse, but there was a time, say 6, 7, 8 months ago, where games could be built around Russ. And now it's actually the opposite. Now you look at a game that's got Russ in it, and it's no longer necessarily a good game. Russ is actually a negative to that thing. So,
well, Mike has got ace-10 here on the button. It's get folded to him, and he's going to raise. 200. He's going to make it 200 to go here out of seat 4. And Jay is going to give him action with queen-10. Jay is dominating here, out of position. It's a $400 pot. Here we go. Heads up to the flop. All diamonds here. Well, Jay's got the higher diamond. This is both players. Check, check. The turn's a king. Jay's now open-ended with the queen of diamonds. And he's going to come out and bet his semi-bluff here. Now, Mike also has a gut shot to the queen, but with a lower diamond draw.
yeah.
Jay bets 400.
And the funny thing is that Jay's got the big draw,
And Mike calls.
and Mike's a big favorite here.
And this is going to be interesting if it goes miss-miss here. Here we go to the river. The river's a diamond, and Jay's got the second nuts.
Yeah, it didn't go miss-miss. And the problem is it's the king of diamonds.
And he checks it. And Mike checks right behind him here with the 10 of diamonds, and Jay's going to take it down here with the queen. There it is. Whoa, wait a minute. Do we have the cards up right?
Apparently not.
Yeah, we must not have had them up right. I can't imagine that Jay folded the queen of diamonds there.
You know, it was really odd for me. I was wondering, wait a second, Jay is checking the queen of diamonds?
Yeah, maybe he had the queen of hearts.
Yeah, it really didn't make much sense.
Yeah.
So, don't worry, we'll take Ronnie out back and publicly flog him.
Mike is limped in here. 300. Jay's going to raise it up here on the button to 300. Jay's got pocket jacks here on the button. And Mike is called here with queen 9, and we are heads up here for a $600 pot. Wow, look at this. Jay has flopped jacks full, and he's going to bet it. Gets checked to him, and he bets weak. He bets 200. He's flopped jacks full. Jack 5-5 on the flop. Is Mike going to get involved? No, he's not going to get involved.
You guys do me a favor. Ronnie's
And here's Tuchman.
Conniption there. When you get your cards, put them in the window right there. It's the essence of our show. We can't see your cards, there's no show.
Are you talking to everybody or just me?
Everybody. Not just you. Well, just you, I just say.
What's a conniption? I want to get one. What is
I don't want to get one of those.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Pretty good, Jay.
As Dave so eloquently stated out there. Mike hasn't been on the show in maybe 3 weeks, so. Pocket queens here for Corporation Mike. Oh, man. See, he puts his cards in the window. He picks up a premium hand. 200. And Oliver's going to raise here with pocket 3s to his immediate left, to his immediate right. And let's see what Mike is going to do. He's got a smooth call with queens. Now, that isn't, a move to kind of play a trap. He is in position.
Well, the funny thing is, with Oliver raising, Oliver's got the respect, and maybe Mike knew that nobody would call his raise.
But look at this. Mike's got the nut flush draw, though, Dave. Ace, king, deuce. Yeah. That changes things, obviously.
But if the flop comes out like 7 high, I'd like to see how Mike plays it. Now, in this case, I mean, Mike's got him by the balls, but
Mike
how
gets
does
the
he know?
card. It goes check, check. And the turn's a 4. Oliver picks up additional outs to the straight draw. Now he bets 200.
Yeah, Oliver has, what does he have, 7 outs here?
And Mike quickly calls. And the river's a 4. And if Oliver throws a big bet in here, it's going to get checked down. And queens are going to take it down there. Wow, interesting hand there.
And the funny thing is, if Oliver would actually have listened to what Mike said about 10 minutes ago, he said, if you show me a bluff, I'll give you action. You wonder if Oliver fires.
Usually they're right here.
You wonder if Mike can call. I don't think he can. I really don't.
Barry's not here.
Button moves over here to Hollywood Russ and seat
They play
8.
the same, Barry and Jason.
Oh, yeah.
I think Barry's a better player. Oh, you like that one?
Got another email here from EG calling for David and I to play on the show. Hopefully that is coming in the near future.
Yes.
Mo's going to raise here. He's got pocket threes. He makes it 250 to go here on the cutoff, and he's going to take it down.
I tell you can't make anybody happy. They're not happy when I do the show by myself.
Look at this. NK is called with pocket sixes. Excuse me. We're heads up.
There's a set
and
of
there's
sixes.
a set of sixes here. And Mo is going to bet the king, I'm sure.
Have you raised your 500?
What does Mo have? Mo has threes.
And he is going to bet with the scare card out there with the
Right,
king.
okay. Well, he's going to bet it. Yeah.
He's going to bet 600 here. Let's see what NK is going to do.
Now, this is the kind of board, I don't mind bluffing into this board because you know when your opponent calls you, he has to have a piece of this. And a pretty big piece of it as well.
And NK is just going to call.
I mean, NK here, okay, he has a minimum of a king, right? Minimum king. What's he calling you with? What, a straight draw? Flush draw?
He doesn't have much left. Now, the turn's an ace. He might check it again here. I mean, if
Well-
he's going to play it as a check call, now he's going to move. That's really, really surprising because
Yeah.
I got to tell you, if I was going to play a set of sixes like that against Mo, I might check another time with the ace.
Well, especially the ace, because
Yeah.
Mo might go, well, maybe this guy called me with king jack, maybe I can get him off. Problem is, NK's got no money. I think
Right.
Mo realizes he can't get him off the hand.
I don't know. I think Mo might bet again there on the turn. With
Trying
an
to
ace
represent the
appearing.
ace?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know, if NK had called with something like king 10, something like that,
It's not a bad way to go about
it's
it.
an interesting way. And Mo
And it-
obviously gets away from it.
So it's funny, so you can't please everybody. Some guys, they never want us to do a show by themselves, right? But at the same time, they want us in the game.
300.
Look at this. Jay is raised here to 300, and Mo is thrown in, looks like $1,000 in chips with ace-king. And Jay can't continue. I mean, remember, deuces, yeah, they're ahead of ace-king, but the range of hands that Mo is doing this with, 50, 60, 70% of the time, it's a higher pocket pair.
Yeah, the problem is that Mo makes this move, but he often makes this move with like pocket fours or pocket fives,
Right.
too. He loves to make this move with like fours or fives.
But look at this. Seat one's got pocket jacks here. NK, and he's going to push. He is going to push. NK is going to push all in here.
Well,
and
Mo's
it's
going to call. We're going to
it's
see a
gonna-
race.
It's going to be an easy call for Mo. Now, we can see that one of the aces is dead.
Yeah.
Oh, two of the aces are dead. Mo's in real bad shape here.
Yeah, it's actually, normally it's about a 55-45. In this
Yeah.
case, it's more like 63-37.
And this is going to be about a $4,500 board run here. Two of the aces are dead.
26.
Looks like all of the jacks are live.
Yeah, Mo needs one of the three kings or one of the remaining aces, and he's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah. You could also catch running hearts here with the king. No deal, NK says.
NK don't like to make deals.
Mo needs an ace or a king. Nope. NK's
No.
going to take it
And
down with the
so
jacks.
far, it is just not Mo's night.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, ace king, hey, you live and die by it sometimes, especially when you're short stacked, Obviously, Mo doesn't know that the two of the aces are dead.
No. Keep Mo on. Bet your
There it is.
I had ace 3.
But rest assured, Bart and I will play in this game. And we'll be playing in a lot of different games. But it'll just be once in a while, maybe once a month, when the timing is right.
Where's your brother at, man? Later.
And NK is doing really well over there in seat one, Dave. Obviously, Mo is going to rebuy here again. Mike here has the big blind. Now, Oliver's picked up ace-queen in the small blind. There's George Georgian.
Yes, white number. That's 200.
And Jay's going to raise here with 9-3 of diamonds.
1,000 behind
Early
7.
position.
Me?
And Mo
Now-
is buying in it for 1,000.
Jay?
2,000. He's buying a short buy.
Me?
Oliver calls here with ace-queen. And Mike is going to enter with king-8.
3
Wow.
players.
I'll tell you about Mo. I mean, there was a time with Mo where he could not lose on Live at the Bike. I don't think he's had a winning session.
Look at
two
this
pair for
flop
Mike.
here for Mike.
I mean, nobody else got anything, huh?
He's got top and bottom, and Jay's going to bet.
450.
He's going to bet 450. Oliver's got a gut shot here to the jack. That's about it. Not a great flop for ace-queen. Mike is flopped top and bottom. And let's see what Mike is going to do.
Come on.
And he's going to check raise all in. And he really kind of has had Jay's number here tonight.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't mind the play by Mike. He's over-betting it, trying to get Jay to think he's on some sort of spade draw.
Right.
And maybe Jay will call him with a king.
King,
or
queen,
even,
or something like
even
that.
Even a pocket pair, you never know.
Right.
Got an email here from Chadney that we talked about last night I wanted to get to. And he says, hey, guys, don't want to bug you, but you had said something about going over my email on Wednesday night, and I just wanted to make sure you didn't forget about me. Now, we can't forget about you, Chadney. Dave just said something that caught my attention. I know that David does not like to play online, and I think that he does not like it because he is more about playing the player rather than playing the hand. And that might be part of it. I mean, I also don't trust online poker. Get to the rest of this email in a second.
Jay is straddled here. And NK is going to come in for a raise with ace-jack in seat 1. He's going to make it 300.
And you can see this guy, I mean, does he overvalue ace-jack a little bit? I mean, I guess it's a raise in late position. Why not?
Going to take it down. Well, with the straddled in there.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, he says here, one of my friends tries to outplay people quite often online, and I try to make him understand that when you play multi-table, you can just sit around and wait for your monsters and then get paid off. I also feel that this is a reason that I'm a bad live player. And he says this because he plays just as tight live as he does when he plays multi-table, and he sees that many more hands. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting, and it is interesting, and obviously you need to adjust your game depending on where you're playing, who you're playing against. Adaptability and being able to adapt your game to the game you're playing in is one of the most important things to becoming a good poker player.
Kenny Wins brought this one in for 175 with ace-8 offsuit in seat 9.
Wow.
And Oliver's going to re-raise pocket jacks. And this is probably going to get folded around here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It's funny, I mean, you got Kenny Wynn being re-raised by Oliver. I got to tell you, I could have kings behind those two guys and I might throw it away. But either way, thanks a lot, Chadney, for the email. Do appreciate it.
Button moves over here to seat 5. Ace-king offsuit here for seat 6. That's Jay. And he is in the small blind here. Now, Kenny Wynn's got king-jack of clubs. And Russ is going to bring this one in for a raise under the gun. He's got ace-queen. And king-queen over there for seat number 1.
Man, Broadway everywhere.
Wow. Call by king-jack of clubs. Call by king-queen. Is Jay going to re-raise with ace-king? He is.
So this flop is probably going to come out something like 2, 3, 6.
Well, it's a good thing that Jay's actually playing this hard because chances are everyone was going to miss this flop. He has re-raised it up, I believe, to 800 or 900 total here with ace-king. Again, Russ brought this one in open with ace-queen. And Russ is not going to continue on. Now, again, players do know Jay's style. I mean,
definitely, Jay is capable of making this move with 6 high.
Kenny does have position on him. But again, you know, chances are, unless Kenny flops a jack, he's going to miss or he's going to be dominated.
Yeah, well, fortunately for him, he won't hit his king.
And he's going to call here, Dave. Wow.
And he's really lucky that all the kings are dead and he can't hit his king.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this is a case where I fold king-queen.
Yeah, definitely.
With Kenny calling.
There's not a chance I call this 5 king-queen.
Yep.
And NK is going to.
And this pot is $2,000 heads up between Jay and Kenny. Ace-king against king-jack. Most of the kings are dead. Well, it misses both players as expected. 10-7-5.
Jay's got the ace of hearts. Gives him backdoor heart draw. And he's in great shape, and he's going to move all in.
He pushes. He's going to push for, wow, almost 3,000. I mean, he's betting over the size of the pot.
I mean, I got to tell you.
And he says, I got you on pocket 9s. Kenny folds. And Jay takes it down.
I got to tell you, I think if Kenny Wynn's got pocket 9s, I think Kenny Wynn calls.
Well, we've seen that before.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, we've seen it before.
I think he makes a tough call,
Yeah.
but I think he calls pocket 9s. Interesting question here from, I think, Jared. He said, here, dear Bart and David, love the show. I want to shoot you a quick question. Last show, you talked a little bit about people re-raising with hands like ace-king, jack-jack, and 10-10, and calling these somewhat, I guess, questionable raises. However, in limit, would you consider re-raising with these types of hands? And what are your strategic differences in those kind of hands and re-raising with these hands in limit versus no limit? What do you think?
Kenny's going to raise here, king 10 of clubs. And 175, and Jay is called with jack 9. And Russ is going to call.
3 players.
Can't quite see what Russ has. Looks like maybe pocket eights. Yeah, he's got pocket eights. Jack 6-7 here, and Jay's got top pair. Now, is Kenny going to make the continuation bet here? And I got to tell you, if he gets checked over to Jay, I don't think Russ is going anywhere with eights. This is going to be an interesting one for Russ. And here we go. Gets checked over to Jay, and he bets 400. Again, one of the toughest spots here in No Limit Hold'em. Do you give credit for Jay having a jack here? And Russ makes the check call.
Wow.
Obviously, Kenny can get away from this now. And you got to wonder here, if you're Jay, what you put Russ on and vice versa. Pot is now about $1,300 to the turn. The turn is a 9. Russ picks up a straight draw now, and Jay's got top 2. And Russ is going to come out and bet here in early position.
Well,
Jay's got the button.
You wonder if he's kind of naming his price here, but he's putting a lot of money in there.
Sloppily, he puts it out there.
And then tries to fix it. That's the thing. He puts it out sloppily and then tries to fix it.
He bets $800 into a pot that's about $1,800. It's a $2,600 pot, $800 to call.
Not always a tell, but it could be a tell. And in this case, it is.
I got to tell you, if you think he's got a diamond with the 10, you move in here, right? I mean, is that a possibility that Russ maybe has a diamond draw with a 10 or with an 8 here?
I got to tell you this. Yeah, and I think, I like the play.
And he's moving in.
It's just too scary a board. I mean,
yeah.
How many safe cards are out there except maybe the deuce of clubs, deuce of hearts, something like that?
And look at the pained look in Russ's face here.
I mean, if a spade comes off, if a diamond comes off, a 10, an 8, a 5.
$3,400 pot plus the raise, which looks like another $3,000. Russ has him covered. It's a $6,500 pot, $3,000 for Russ to call. He's getting 2-1. Obviously, he's got a pair with an open-ended straight draw. There's a 2 flush out there, and Jay has top 2.
Now, this is the question now. It is a math question. But is there any way, and you've got to start putting Jay on a range of hands, is there any way Jay could have, say, 8-7? Something like that. Is there any way that Jay could have 9-8? Open-ended. Now,
if he's got 9-8, you don't make the call.
Right, you start putting him on a range of hands. Could he have ace-8 of diamonds? Could he have a diamond draw and now picked up a straight draw? I mean, he could even have, let's say, ace-10, something like that. You start putting him on a range of hands. Jay can make a play like this. And you might start thinking here, well, I'm open-ended. Plus there's a chance that Jay is bluffing. Do I call here?
6,500, about 3,000 to call.
I mean, it's a tough spot. I mean, obviously we can see the cards. It's easy for us. But I got to tell you, if I'm in Russ's shoes, I don't know what I do here. Because you got to start thinking maybe 1/3 of the time Jay is bluffing. Maybe 2/3 of the time Jay's got me beat, but I'm open-ended.
Looks like Russ is going to lay it down. He does. And it's obviously the right laydown, as we see.
And the river would have been the 6. Would have paired the board and not changed anything, and Jay would have taken it down. Now, the email from Jared, obviously Limit Hold'em and No Limit Hold'em are very different animals. Now, the one thing about those pocket pairs like 10s and jacks and No Limit Hold'em, oftentimes you're playing to win that big pot. And in No Limit Hold'em, if you can hit a set with 10s or jacks, you can really, really win a big pot. Now, in Limit Hold'em, oftentimes you want to re-raise kind of a looser player to isolate him and drive everybody else out. But a lot of times it depends on who you're raising, what kind of table you're at. You certainly don't want to raise a real tight player who's raising with queens if you've got 10s, because you need the players in behind you if you're playing limit or no limit.
Jay's going to raise here with 8-5 offsuit to 200.
Obviously, you can 3-bet in Limit Hold'em much more freely, because it's only going to cost you one more bet. Even if the guy comes back to you and makes it 4 bets, well, you can still call that 4th bet. But in No Limit, if you re-raise with 10s and the guy comes over the top of you, well, then you have to throw the hand away, and you don't even get to see the flop.
Got an email here from Flip Goggler. He says, talking about card sharks, it's card-sharks with an X at the end of it.com.
Well, there is a dash.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a dash.
Card-sharks.
Cool.
Or is there a dash? Yeah.
There's a dash. Okay, so dash and then there's an X instead of the S.
Right.
Okay. There you go. That's pretty cool. Thanks for the email, Jared, though.
Jay's going to raise here with Jack 7. He's starting to take control of this table here. And he's going to take it down.
The one thing about poker, I'll tell you, like almost every single question when people ask us, it's always, well, it depends on what kind of table you're at. You know, in some tables, even in No Limit Hold'em, I'm re-raising with 10s and jacks also.
Collection pot here, as it was last hand, but it's got to be over $500. Kenny Wynn's got the button over there in seat 9. Again, the winner of this pot, if it's over that amount, will pay $13 per player per half an hour. Big blind is in Oliver's. And look at this, Jay's raising again here with King 7. When Mike is away from the table, he's really becoming the table captain. Russ is going to call with pocket 4s.
Well, there's nobody at the table to really slow him down. Mo has already lost a couple of buy-ins, and he's certainly slowed down.
So here we go to the flop. King 7 against pocket 4s. Queen 8-10. Got to think if Jay continues to bet here, he's going to take it down.
Well, you know, Jay.
Nine checks.
Wow.
And Russ is going to bet. Russ bets 300 here.
Now,
Jay's
that's a
on it.
hand, I got to tell you, just 2 months ago, Russ checks it also.
Right, right.
Goes check, check. Check, check. I mean, it's almost like Russ just plays it to the set or nothing. But this is the new and improved Russ.
And again, we are going to have another collection pot as that amount was not over $500. Now, Mike is taking a short break, head over to the corporation side of the, and he'll be back here, I guess, within 5 minutes as we got word. Button moves over here to NK in seat number 1. He is kind of the big winner so far, as well as Sean is in seat number 5. And Jay's going to straddle here again, which we rarely see him do in seat number 6. Sean's picked up pocket 6s in the big blind here.
Yeah, I think Jay's got a feel for this table, and he really feels like he can run it over. And you wonder if they just might check, they just might fold, open fold to him.
Look at this, it gets limped around to Sean. He completes with 6s, and Jay raises with 5-7 offsuit in the straddle spot. And is Sean's going to re-raise. He's going to pull the limp re-raise with 6s here. He's going to make it 1,000. Wow. The limp re-raise in the blind against the straddler.
Well, you know, he knew that if he limped in, Jay was going to raise with any 2 cards. He knew that. He said, okay, I can play that game. I mean, Sean's not new to this poker thing.
I know, it's just risking a lot of money. I mean, now Jay's deep. You know, you wonder, I don't know if they're both deep enough where you can make a $1,000 call with something like a suited connector. But as the night runs through and they start getting $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 deep and he makes that play, I like Jay's chances of maybe calling there with any 2 and maybe outplaying the guy in position.
You know, you definitely make a good
pocket
point there.
6s is not a great hand.
No, of course, you definitely make a good point there, but Jay doesn't know what Sean has. Sean is now limping in. Sean can have aces there, right? Sean can have kings there. And I wouldn't be surprised if he made that same exact move with aces or kings. Limping in and then re-raising.
No, more than that. You got 200 to go. Nice straddle.
And it's still a collection pot. It was not
I'll tell you exactly
a collection pot.
You live straddle. He called your live straddle. When he raised 2 more, you called 2 more. That makes a total of 625.
Correct. Yeah, that's correct. That's right. You put 2 whites. I made it 200. 200 more. 200 more. 100.
And I say, Jay actually didn't make it 200 more. He just made it 100 more.
Look at this. Now Sean's picked up pocket kings in the small blind.
And he might limp in here again.
Might he limp in here when Jay's in the big blind? And he does.
See?
Oh, no, they're going to chop here, Dave.
Why are you chopping?
I don't understand it.
I don't understand why anybody chops there.
Yeah.
Especially a player like Jay. Why would you chop there?
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I chop with them. I don't want to chop. You know.
You know what, though?
I don't want to
I got to tell you, though, he got a little bit of information there without even knowing it. He limped in. Then Jay said, oh, we're not chopping?
Right.
He said, oh, okay, we'll chop. Then he showed him the pocket kings. So Jay now knows, oh, this guy might limp in with kings.
Button moves over here to Sean in seat 5. Oliver's going to limp in with ace 9. Jay completes and Mo checks it out of the blind. We got 3-way action here.
Chips.
Jack 10-8 here with a couple of hearts. Jay's got 6-7.
Now, Oliver's open-ended. He also has the ace of hearts in his hand as a kind of a backdoor draw.
Well, he gets checked around. Turns 7. Now Jay has a pair and a straight draw.
Oliver's got the open. Oliver's hit a straight.
Yeah,
though.
he has hit the straight. And he's going to bet.
And I don't think anybody's going to give him action.
Nope.
I mean, I wouldn't give this guy action, would you?
Button moves over here to seat number 6. Jay Katsutani.
Question here from Kevin. He says, hey, thanks for answering my first question. Hey, this is only my second time viewing. Good to have you aboard. Spread the word. So you may have already answered this, but why don't one of you guys play in the game right now? Well, if we were to play in the game, we wouldn't be doing commentary.
Right.
Although I'm trying to push for playing from here.
Playing from here, that would be
Yeah,
nice.
I'm really looking forward to doing that.
Yeah.
Just give me 2 random cards. I'll take C2 right from his this spot.
NK is raised here to 150. Oliver is called with pocket 9s.
2 players.
And we're heads up. Queen 10-4, and NK's outflopped him.
See, right now, seeing what I see, I would move all in.
Right, we're moving in with 9s.
I just move all in. Well, no, I'm in seat 2. I have 2 random cards. I don't care what I have. I'll just move in right now.
NK's made the continuation bet here, and, you know, this is not a great flop for pocket 9s. Again, even if he's raising with high Broadway, he's got a straight card with over cards, and Oliver does not get involved. And there it is. Again, you can email us at liveatthebike.com. You can also follow a live thread started on the internet by going to 2plus2.com, spelled out, click on forums, World Poker Tour, etc. Miller
Yeah, that's Mike. He missed.
Lowlife on 2plus2 has requested a Bartgasm. Well, it's not necessarily something that you can request. You have to listen for the opportune time.
Yeah, it's really got to come organically.
Right.
I mean, if it just gets manufactured, it's almost fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if anybody's experienced the fake orgasm, you know, it's not something you really want to get, I don't think.
Is that something you've experienced from many
No, of course
times
not.
before? No. Pocket Jacks here for Mo.
Don't be silly.
And
Organic is the only way to go.
He's going to raise it to 250. Now, Hollywood Russ has got King Jack suited in the small blind. Do you necessarily give credit for a good hand from a button raise? And see how Russ, he's going to call.
You might not give credit for it. The problem is, though, Mo is a good enough player that if you don't hit your king or your jack here, what do you do then?
And NK overcalls in the big blind. So we've got a $750 pot here going 3 ways. Well, 7 deuce 10, and is NK going to get involved? He checks it to Mo.
You know, the way Mo has been not tilting, but the way Mo has been running right now, you wonder if NK thinks Mo is full of crap here.
And Mo's going to bet the pot here. Now, NK has top pair, but Mo has the overpair. Russ quickly gets away from it. The pot is 1,500, $750 to call.
The problem is, does NK give credit to Mo? It was a button raise. And I think he just called.
Yeah, he's going to call here. Pot now is $2,250 to the turn.
Now, last time I played it this way,
The turn's an ace, and now if NK had the nut flush draw, Mo's in trouble. Now, I had a hand like this. Yeah, Mo checks right behind him. Do you call in the river's an 8? Now, do you call a bet that is not outrageous here on the river? Well, he's going to check it, and it just gets checked down.
Man, I got to tell you, I bet the river if I'm jacks there.
You might bet for value there, thinking the guy has
Put him on a 10.
Yeah.
He's either got a 10 or he's got diamonds.
Again, I had a hand, Dave, that you were at the table with me when you've got an overpair there with a 2 flush out there, and then all of a sudden, bang, an ace comes on the turn. You know, you might make a check on the turn, half controlling bet size, but you've got to evaluate it on the river when the guy comes and bets out to you on the river.
So that's the problem, though. You're inducing a bluff
Right.
now. And if the guy bluffs at it, if he's the kind of player that can bluff at it, well, what do? You're put in that tough spot. One of those, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Limped around in the blinds. Small blind completes, and Oliver checks it in the big blind. Queen, deuce, queen here, misses both players.
Now, Oliver's got 2 pair.
150.
Yeah, and he's going to bet 150 here. And
Take
he's
it
gonna
down,
take
use
it
his
down.
image. Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. You're watching 2550 No Limit Hold'em. Unrestricted buying game. We've got probably close to $50,000 on the table. That's right, $50,000.
Button moves over here to seat 1. Interesting post here by somebody. I couldn't quite tell who it was because I'm looking at a quote. I think ace-king should never be what you turn over in a cash game when your money goes in pre-flop. And obviously, you know, it always depends.
Of course it does.
You know, when Mo is that short, of course it's going to what you're going to turn over, you know?
I mean, you got to think about it. Sometimes, you know, if you commit, say, let's say you re-raise somebody with ace-king, and you commit 30% of your stack, and then another player moves all in on you, sometimes you're just committed with ace-king.
Jay's raised here to 200, and he's got 3 callers. Russ is called with a dominated suited ace. Flop comes out 9, 7, 10 here. It looks like we get a queen 10, or is that queen 9?
No, it's queen 9
for Sean. And that looks to be the best hand right now.
And is NK going to bet this?
Well, it gets checked over to him, and he is going to bet. Wow. He called with deuce 3 of diamonds. He's going to bet 500. I mean, can Sean really continue on with this hand?
The problem is there's 2 players behind Sean.
He gets away from it. Obviously, that is partly the value of calling with a small pocket pair or a suited connector on the button. You don't necessarily have to hit your hand to win the pot.
Yeah, it's the power of position. Now, Jay is really, really good at reading players, and you wonder if he's making a read here. And look at this.
And look, this is just, I mean, just a sixth sense, Dave.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, some people could say, some people do this all the time. We see some players making moves like Adam, who makes moves left and right all day long. So, of course, once in a while it's going to be correct. Jay doesn't make that many moves.
Yeah.
And made the read that NK was weak, and he takes the pot away. Nice play.
Button moves over here to seat 3. Mo is under the gun here.
I mean, it's funny. Sometimes if you have ace-king, depending on how many players have already called when you raise, and then depending on the re-raise and how deep you are and how deep your opponent is, sometimes you could be getting 2-1 with your ace-king. And unless you're specifically against aces, you need to call.
Absolutely.
Unless the guy flips over aces by accident, you need to call.
Good. Nice shot there of Ed. He's coming to the house here. Limped around here. Looks like we got 3-way action. King, queen, deuce here with a couple of hearts. Gets checked around. Turns another king. Looks like Sean is good here with ace high. And Jay is going to come out and bet on the other player's weaknesses, and he's going to take it down.
Why not?
And then some of this is pure Jay here.
Well, we talk about it. I mean, Doyle Brunson says it all the time in Super System 1. He goes, there's an awful lot of pots, awful lot of flops that miss everybody. He goes, I want that money. I want the dead money in the middle that nobody wants. He goes, because by winning those small little pots here and there, it gives me the extra chips to gamble later on.
Mo's got the big blind here in seat 7.
It's a system that's worked for Doyle Brunson for quite a while.
Limped around here. 3 ways.
Getting word from Ray that Charles Barkley is in the house.
Jay did not raise it with pocket 8s in the small blind. 9-5-7 with a couple diamonds, and he's going to come out and bet.
Well, Jay's got a gut shot, Mo's got a gut shot, and NK's got top pair.
Wow. 225 and a call here by Mo. And NK here is going to raise with king 9. Wow.
Well, you know, I mean, you can't give much credence to Jay betting. And since Mo was just called, you figure, okay, well, let me see if I can take this away.
He makes it 600 more here.
I mean, with a board like that, I have king 9 of hearts. I'm either going to fold it or raise it. I'm certainly not going to just call.
Pot is now about 1,500, 600 for Jay to call.
Now, Jay does not have the 8 of diamonds in his hand. I know it's just a little bit there.
Jay folds, and Mo's going to get out of there as well.
Yeah, no diamonds in either one of those hands.
NK there takes it down. NK was playing the stud high-low game earlier today. I think that's where
NK?
they pulled him, from. Amazingly. He's a young fellow to play that game.
He really is, yeah. Well, it's a new world of poker. You get all sorts of youngsters playing these new games now.
Button moves over here to Jay in seat 6.
We'll play a little short-handed here. That's the one thing great about poker, especially when you're playing in a cash game. You've got to realize that, actually, a cash game or a tournament, you've got to be able to adapt your game. Sometimes you're playing 9-handed, sometimes 8-handed. And as we see here, we're actually down to 5-handed. And that's poker. And you got to be able to adapt.
Queen 9-5 on the flop gets checked around.
Nice turn for Mo.
Yeah, Mo's got a flush draw and a straight draw, but JK also has a straight draw and a flush draw. Now, Mo bets 200. NK's got the gut shot to the 10 with the flush draw, and Mo has the straight draw. And hopefully for Mo's sake, it does not come heart here on the river. Well, the river is a 10. Now, can Mo bluff at it?
I don't think so, because
NK has made the straight.
Yeah, NK's got a straight here.
NK has made the straight. Mo bets 400 here from up front.
I mean, Mo can try to bluff at it. It just won't work.
400 into a pot that's about...
Now, this is one of those times where I really do think there is value to raising. I mean, the only hand you're losing to is King-Jack. If Mo's got King-Jack of hearts, well, he can't have King-Jack of hearts, sorry. If Mo has King-Jack, God bless him. I mean, I guess he could have King-Jack of spades.
Well, I think there's so many hands that you can get paid off from here, the way this hand played out.
Mo could have 9-10 right now.
Yeah. He could have a set of 5s. Remember, he does that with a set of 5s,
exactly.
too.
You need to raise this, that's for sure. NK's just trying to think about it here. Now,
these are the great hands, like I said, that you make so much money on. When you think, say you had Jack 8 of spades here and somebody put you on a flush draw and they had a set of queens, then they check to the river to you, inducing a bluff. And look at this, he just calls. He just called there, did not raise.
And it didn't make a difference. I mean, I can't believe he just called that, though.
Yeah.
What are you scared of?
Well, I think that maybe he thinks there's just no value to raising there, but I think that there is.
There's always value to raising.
Yeah.
Even if you don't show your cards, that's the value.
Right.
I mean, somebody can't convince me that there's, well, hey, if I can't win any money, there's no value to raising. Bullshit. If you never have to show your cards, I mean, imagine playing with a guy, right? And you have no read on how he plays because you haven't seen his cards for 2 hours. Man, there's value to that.
NK is going to bring this one in for a raise with pocket queens. He's going to make it 175 to go. Now, Kenny, I can see he's got 1 queen. He's not going to get involved with it.
See, now I actually like this. Contrary to maybe Bart, I actually like playing at 5-6-handed sometimes because I like to see how these players adapt, especially a player like Kenny Wynn, a player like Mo, a player like Jason Katsutani. I want to see how their game adapts as the game goes down from 8-handed, 7-handed, down to 5-handed. It really puts to the test to a good poker player. Best players in the world can play it. Hey, they'll play it heads up. They'll play it 9-handed. They can even play it 10-handed. No problem with that. And we got a limp in here from seat number 3. And we're going to see this 3 ways. Pot is $150. Actually, the pot's $200 because Sean is in there with a deuce 3 of clubs. Flop comes out 9-7-5 rainbow. And Kenny's got top 2. Nobody else has got much of anything. Oliver's got bottom pair with the ace kicker. But Russ is going to bet here with absolutely nothing. For whatever reason, I thought that was seat number 5, but it's actually Russ. And Russ is betting here. Kenny's raising. And Russ has got 3 high, so I guess this hand is obviously over. And Kenny takes it down. And now we are back to 7-handed. And you've got to really be aware of that. Those are things, when you're playing in a game of no limit hold'em, oftentimes I'll even see good players reading a magazine, listening to their iPod, on the phone while they're playing. And you've got to pay attention if you're playing for real money. You want to win, and you want to play the best you can play. You've got to sit here and you've really got to be paying attention. You've got to know how much money you have. You have to know how much each of your opponents has. You have to know who's won the last pot. Could seat number 4 be tilting? How many players saw a hand here? Was it 6-handed? Was it 5-handed? Was it 9-handed? All these factors really change. Mo's going to raise here with king, queen, and clubs, and nobody's going to call. And you've got to realize, when you're playing at 5 or 6-handed with the blinds being 25-50, we often say this game is not a fight for the blinds in the sense that the blinds aren't that big relative to the stacks. But when you're playing 6-handed, you really can't wait for the nuts. You can't wait for a big hand. You lose $75 every 5 or 6 hands. Now, Mo's picked up another couple of Broadway cards. He's picked up King Jack offsuit. And he's going to raise it up again. Makes it 175 this time. The funny, last hand with King, Queen of clubs, he made it 250. No real rhyme or reason. Mo likes to change his bet sizes, though. It's kind of Mo's style.
Well, NK is going to call him here with pocket 9s, 2 red 9s on the button, and here we go, heads up. Well, queen, queen 8, not necessarily a bad flop for 9s. Let's see how this one's going to go. Mo's going to bet.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I was sitting with a couple of my buddies, and they're playing online, and I'm sitting over their shoulder, and I'm sweating them while they're playing. And the guy had actually almost exactly flopped. It was pocket 9s with a flop of queen, queen 8.
$200 bet and a call by NK, and Mo backs into the best hand here on the turn. And he checks. And NK checks. And here we go to the river, and the river is a 10, and NK backs into a straight.
And you got to bet this if you're NK. You have to bet it if you're NK.
Mo checks.
You got to bet this, right? Yeah, and he does.
He's going to bet.
And, wow, what does Mo do here?
He's going to bet, looks like 400 here.
I mean, NK really played it almost like he had a queen in a weird way, you know?
Right, now would he necessarily bet a queen here on the river?
Well, Mo can't beat anything.
Yeah, he gets away from it.
I mean, Mo can't beat ace-king now.
Yeah.
Ace-king got there as well. Anyway, though, so my buddy, I'm sweating him while he's playing online, and he has, like, pocket nines. The flop comes out queen, queen, 5, something like that. And he goes, oh, man. Every time I got a pocket pair like nines, it comes with an overcard. And I'm trying to convince him that it's a paired overcard.
Right.
The board's queen, queen, 5. I'm like, that's not bad for you. That's a good flop for you. He wouldn't listen to me.
But moves over here to Oliver in seat 3.
Yeah, not much of anything out there.
He's going to raise with queen 5.
Yeah, he's on a little steal here. And I don't mind once in a while in a game this big where the blinds... Now, in a 5-10 game, the steal doesn't mean as much. But in this game, the blinds are 25-50.
Jay is called here with pocket 6s in the blind. And that's a horrible flop for Jay. King, queen 10.
And
Jay checks.
Oliver's going to put a continuation bet out there. And Jay throws it away.
Yep. There it is.
Now, Oliver obviously is playing his position. He's not playing his cards.
Right.
As long as Jay doesn't hit a 6 there and the board comes out with a couple of Broadway cards, you figure you can probably get him off it.
Straddle.
Looks like we're going to have a straddle here.
Russ is
By
straddling
Russ.
it up.
Yeah, straddle here by Russ in seat 8. Button moves over to seat 5. Where is Corporation Mike is the big question.
Yeah, the thing with Corporation Mike is obviously he does work here, he does
Yeah.
work on the other side, and sometimes business calls him away and nothing he can do. I guarantee you he'd rather be in this game than working.
Limp here and a complete by Mo. 8-9 of hearts and NK with queen 10, and Russ checks it. He's got 10 through spades. $400 pot here, 4 ways.
Yeah, I saw you call, man.
9-5-4. Russ has got a spade draw here. And Oliver's got top pair with 8-9. And Russ is going to come out and bet the spade draw.
I love it. Love the bet here by Russ. I really do.
I don't know if Oliver can. I mean, is that really the type of flop you want with 8-9?
Not really. And you got to realize you can't even beat 10-9.
He's going to raise. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to raise it here with 8-9.
Now it is the new Russ, but I got to tell you, if Russ bets out like that, oftentimes I won't raise it with 9-8. I probably lay it down.
Right. He makes it looks like 800 more here. Oliver does.
Well, hey, the one thing about raising in here at 9-8, we saw it last night, sometimes you can raise in position here to actually control the pot size. It's almost a reverse because now you figure if Russ calls here, he'll probably check the turn. You can take the free card if you really want to, or you can put a nice kind of a controlled pot there, a bet there on the turn.
And is Russ coming back over the top? Oh, no, he's just going to make the call. So he makes the call with a dry flush draw out of position. This pot is big. The turn here is a 7. I wonder if Oliver's going to bet here. One liner to a straight, and he is going to bet.
Yeah, now a 6 could come out and make Russ a straight, but it would be a garbage straight because Oliver would have the higher straight.
Oliver bets 800 into a pot that is now about 2,200. It's a $3,000 pot, 800 for Russ to call. Again, I'm really surprised that Russ made the call on the flop. He's got kind of, like you said, he's got that dry flush draw.
And he's not in position. That's the big thing here.
How about this, though? He actually has a straight. No, he does not. I thought he had, for a second, he had a straight draw to the 8 there.
No, if a 6 comes off, he has a straight, but it's a garbage straight, obviously. Does nothing for him. Now, I actually like the way Oliver's played his hand. Oliver's played it aggressive.
And Russ here is going to call, and this pot balloons up to $3,800.
And I guarantee you, regardless of what comes on the river, unless it's a 9, Oliver's going to check it.
The river is a 7, and Russ has missed.
And I think Oliver's going to take the free showdown.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. And I like the way Oliver played his hand.
Well, he bet real weak on the turn, like you said. Didn't necessarily. I mean, he almost bet on weak on the turn. He actually, again, controlled pot size because he checks the turn. He might get a real big bet from Russ on the river.
Oh, totally. If he checks the turn, Russ might come out with a $2,000 bet on the river. Then what do you do? You really put yourself in a tough spot. You also don't give your opponent the free card in case he has a draw. I like the way Oliver played that hand.
I'm telling you, there's some hard hands.
Is that the one we played?
Yeah, the first 4 holes.
Button moves over here to Jay Katsutani in seat 6. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. Hollywood Russ has got another pocket pair. He's got pocket 6s. And Jay's going to raise. He's got pocket 7s. He makes it 300 to go here. Now, I assume that Russ is going to continue on here with his little pocket pair. He calls.
And I don't mind that. I mean, if you're deep enough, you think your opponent's deep enough, you can call a small raise with a pocket pair.
Mike limped
you
in
hit
with
it.
king deuce offsuit. He's out. And here we go. Heads up, 7s against 6s. And the flop comes up king 5-9. Russ checks.
Jay's going to bet. And Russ is going to fold, I assume?
350 here. 350, half pot size bet, and that's going to do it there.
Now, the only thing about calling Jay's raises with a small pocket pair, we always point out that Jay doesn't necessarily have a big hand. And the river actually would have been a 6, but I can't imagine Russ ever getting there.
Yep. Going to get a chip count in here, so here we go. And Mike has got 8,000. Russ has got 8,000. Oliver's got 7,500. Did somebody have 12,000? Was it Russ before? Yeah, and he's down, so let's take a look at the differences. And now Russ, you can see, is negative 1,000. He was up 3,000 last time we looked at it.
Mike up 4K, Oliver up 2,500. Nice day for Oliver and Sean so far as well.
And Mo's down 6,000.
Well, our normal mainstays there, Mo, Russ, and Jay are all down.
Mike is raised here with Jack 9 of spades. He's made it 200, and Russ is going to call with Ace Jack offsuit. Russ has Mike dominated, and King Jack over there for seat 1, he makes the call. Well, chances are Jack is not going to come out here. It's a $600 pot 3-ways. Mike's the pre-flop raiser. 10-4-10, misses everybody. See if Mike can take this down with post-flop aggression. He's going to bet 400.
Pretty straightforward.
Probably going to do it there. There you go.
Got a pretty cool email here from Troy. Unfortunately, we cannot get to that right now. Talking about a hand from last night. And unfortunately, sometimes when we're in a different game, we can't get back to the last game. Do appreciate the email, though.
I agree.
Mike, of course, a big Lakers fan. The Lakers are playing, what is it, tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
Game 6.
Game 6, do or die. They lose tomorrow night, they're not going to win.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've got one shot in the next 2 games, but you're right.
They can't. Yeah. They got to win tomorrow night. They win tomorrow night, I tell you, the city is going to be turned upside down. Lakers, Clippers. All 7 games at the Staples Center.
Straddle here by Mike, and Jay's going to raise 325 with ace-king, and Mike's got that big lick suited. He really likes that hand. He's going to make the call. And we are heads up between these two guys. $700 pot. Here we go. Well, king deuce 4. Nice flop for Jay.
Yeah, pretty easy flop for Mike to get away from.
Jay bets 250. Trying to bet a little bit weak there. Again, trying to get Mike to go over the top. I got to tell you, though, we've watched Mike play so much, and one of the other things I really like about his game is he would check raise with air many, many months ago. When I talk about air, meaning nothing. Now it's very, very unlikely for him to not have what we talk about, that escape hatch, not to do it at least as some sort of semi-bluff.
I mean, even Doyle Brunson says it, and Doyle Brunson, who's one of the most aggressive and best players of all time, he even talks about it. He goes, if I'm making a bluff, I'll almost always have at least one out. You know? I mean, he said, yeah, once in a while, if I'm in a game with such passive type players, he goes, yeah, I can raise with nothing. I don't even look at my cards sometimes. But generally speaking, I'm raising with some sort of out. Something.
Looks like they're having some shuffle master problems out there, Dave.
Well, they dropped the chip in there.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Ray to the rescue. That's our cameraman, Ray, right there. This is another great element of live poker, huh, Dave?
Yeah, it's great. Shuffle Master.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in Shuffle Master, I got to tell you. By the way, SHFL on your stock exchange.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, you have stock in them, right?
I did. I bought stock in them. Great company.
Here's Ray. They just, and that's actually the beauty of that. They can just, replace it out very easily.
Yeah, it's great. Well, I mean, if you have enough fun, obviously.
That was my box, man.
A casino this size, obviously, the Bicycle Casino. We have the second most poker tables in the world. Second largest poker hall in the world.
Well, Oliver's got ace-king here in the small blind.
Now, that's a hand that's always tricky to play out of position. But I imagine, are they going to just chop it up when Kenny folds?
They might.
No, they're not going to. And Mike is going to call. Well, he's got live cards.
Oliver makes it 200. Mike calls. Here we go to the flop.
You wonder how Mike is going to play. Well,
there's the ace.
I was wondering how Oliver and Mike would play here with Mike having position. But obviously, Oliver hits his hand. It's real easy for him.
And another time when you'd see Mike kind of make a scratch your head move is like when he would try to raise with an ace out there, when the chances are this guy might have actually raised because he's a solid player with an ace in his hand.
Yeah.
Now he really picks spots where he might raise on boards that actually don't hit what a solid player is representing by raising pre-flop.
Well, one of the strengths of Mike's game right now is he really does pay attention to who he's playing against. We talk about Barry Woods, and I like Barry Woods' games, and Barry's got a lot of strengths in his game. If there's any weakness to Barry Woods' game, I think it's the fact that he does not focus on who he's playing against.
Right.
He gives action to players he shouldn't be giving action against. While Mike is really astute at that now, he'll no longer call. Let's say he raises and Alan were to re-raise all in pre-flop. He no longer gives Alan action.
Right.
Notice how he doesn't give Oliver action, post-flop that is.
Limped around here 3 ways. 9, 7, 4. Well, Jay's got a straight draw here.
Yeah, what, he's got a gut shot?
Oliver's got a 4, turns a 10. Jay's now double gutted to the 8 and to the 5. And he's going to bet 300.
Now, obviously, the 8 is a one-liner to anybody with a jack as well, so.
He bets 300 here. Again, Oliver's got a pair of 4s.
And he's got third pair. He's going to
make the call. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what Jay does here.
Well, Jay can get you a lot of cards. An 8, not a jack.
No, not a jack. Now, do you think that Oliver was calling with a flush draw? If he calls with second or say third pair?
He could beat an 8 now, though. I mean, look at the board.
Yeah, and he's going to bet. I like the bet there by Jay, obviously.
Of course. I mean, that's a third club, one-liner for anybody with a straight if somebody has an 8 in their hands.
Yeah.
Also, all the overcards out there.
Looks like we're halfway through the show. Again, you can join us tomorrow for 10-20 pot limit, Hold'em.
How about that? You save money. What a move. 400 some and 300 next week. What a move.
Button moves over here to Mike in seat 4.
Because you play a lot of pots, that's the theory, right? Yeah.
We've got 3 people away from the table.
Now, C.W. Siggy points out, he goes, I was talking about how you need to really pay attention. And I'll get to it in a second because Oliver's got pocket kings.
Yeah, he's going to make it 200 to go.
I don't think, is anybody going to give him action? Well, maybe Jay will.
Jay's got queen 9.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man, and he's picking a time to re-raise. Well, you know, maybe he thought that, and look at this, Oliver says immediately re-raises. And this is what we talk about, you're letting an aggressive player off the hook here by re-raising.
You really are.
I mean, if he just calls here, Jay is forced to fire out on the flop. Now Jay can get away from it.
Now, the only problem is, let's say an ace were coming to the flop, you kind of scare yourself.
Right.
And then what do you do?
Oliver re-raises 1,000 here. Yeah, Jay's out of there.
And Oliver's going to take it down. Now, I was pointing out while you stepped out of the booth for a second, I was talking about how when you're playing a no-limit hold'em game, you really need to focus on everything. And when you're sitting there reading a magazine or fiddling with your iPod, obviously you're not paying attention to the game. Now, C.W. Siggy over on 2+2 says, hey, Tuck, but Greenstein was reading a book while playing Negrano in their 500,000 heads-up stud match. You know what? I'd like to say Barry Greenstein is on a different level. And what works for Barry might not work for everybody else.
Boy, talk about a boring game.
Yeah, it's also a little different. He's playing heads up.
Well,
there's nobody else to pay attention to.
Right. No, but I'm just saying, have you ever played short-handed stud high-low? It's just, ugh.
I actually like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Depending on who you're playing against. I used to play drunk Steve all the time. It's great.
Wow, look at this. Pocket queens for Kenny Wynn. He's got a limp under the gun. He limps.
105.
Well, you know he's looking for the limp re-raise, huh?
He said he missed $100.
Well, Oliver's, I think he's paying the collection from last hand, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So Kenny limps with queens, and Mike is just going to limp. He does not raise with queen jack. And let's see what Jay... And Jay limps, and Kenny is not going to get that limp re-raise that he's planning on doing here.
He's got to dodge a lot of cards here.
4-way action. Wow, all spades. Now, he does have the queen of spades. Jay's got the king of spades.
Yeah, and nobody else has got much of anything. I mean, Russ has got a pair of three.
And Mike is going to come out and fire at it. And Jay calls. And now can Kenny overcall with the queen of spades? He does have an overpair with the queen of spades.
I got to tell you, that's a scary board for queens.
Is he going to check raise?
I mean, this is an unraised pot.
Play good, Kenny.
This is real dangerous.
I got to tell you, there's no way I check raise this. I mean, I might bet it. There's no way I can check raise this.
Looks like he did just call.
Don't worry about it, Wayne. It's only 50.
Might you bet on a blank?
Well, here we go to the turn. Turn is a 6. That's definitely probably not a blank with these guys
it's
in
not
there.
at all. I mean, this is an unraised pot. These guys could have anything.
Pot is now almost $800.
And if Mike fires here big, if Mike fires $1,000, he takes it down. I don't think anybody calls.
And he is. He's going to bet at least $800 there. Well, he bet $600 to an $800 pot. Jay, again, he's got the dry second nut flush draw, and Kenny has the overpair with the third nut flush draw.
And Mike is drawing dead. Mike cannot win this pot if it goes to showdown.
And again, I mean, Jay has got to be concerned about why is Kenny winning the hand. And I think Jay's going to raise here.
Well,
and talk about the instincts of that guy. Kenny cannot make this call.
No, he can't. He cannot make this
and
call.
And obviously Mike can't make the call either.
Not an unraised pot. I'm sorry. There's no way I make this call. I mean, I know it's Jay. It's Jay and it's Mike, but...
Top pair just paired on the board.
But what can you beat?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I can't imagine Kenny's going to get involved here.
I mean, you have an overpair. I mean, it is Mike and Jay. I mean, that's the only thing.
Jay raised it up, basically up to 2,000. It would, in essence, put Kenny all in.
You know, the interesting thing is I'm surprised Kenny didn't come out and bet the flop right away. Why not bet it? I mean, you know Mike or Jay he put himself in a position where he's now calling these bets. Now, if Kenny comes out and bets it right away, he might get both those players to fold. Maybe Jay calls with the king of spades. But I'm not sure if he does, and when the board pairs and Kenny fires again, I think Jay probably throws it away.
I mean, you are, again, against really aggressive players. Look at this. Kenny's going to move in. Oh, wow, I'm really surprised that he's committing. Obviously, he's got the best hand by far.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give him credit. Maybe he's got a read on Jay.
Well, now the issue, though, is that how much more is it? I think that Jay, well, it is a little bit more. It's a math problem for Jay.
It really is. That's all it is.
I mean, I don't think necessarily he puts Kenny on the nut flush, but he does have the second nut flush with one card to come. The pot is about $7,000,
yeah.
Even more than that. How much more to call?
Kenny's got to have a made hand here. Kenny's got to have a pocket pair.
1,200 more.
I mean, you got to think Kenny does not have.
Jay is getting about maybe 4 or 5 to 1 here.
I mean, you wouldn't think that Kenny's got either spades or Kenny has
right.
You wouldn't imagine that Kenny would have just the ace of spades, a dry ace of spades, because he knows that Jay is pretty much pot committed.
Well, obviously, if Jay knew what Kenny had, he would make the call.
And the river would have been the 10 of spades. Oh, man.
Yep.
And Jay would have won that pot. Now, I'm just curious, how much more was it to call?
It was about 1,300 more, 1,200 more, and the pot was already 6,000 or 7,000. But again, when you talk about the range of hands that Kenny Wynn has there, I just don't put him on an overpair, not higher than my kings with the queen of spades, the way that was played out. If he turns over queens with the queen of spades,
what do you put him on?
You're telling me you put Kenny there on that hand when he pushes in with queens with the queen of spades? We just talked about how he was probably should have folded.
I got to tell you, the way Kenny played that hand, what other hand do you put him on? What do you put him on?
I think you might put him on a 6. I think you might have already put him on a low flush, and he let everybody do the betting. He didn't have that much more. What was he going to call? He only had 1,200 left.
You think he checks a low flush twice?
He could have checked a nut flush also. He could have had ace-10 of spades there, something like that.
I guess.
I mean, revisionist history. We just said the guy probably was going to fold. I don't see how you could say, oh, he's got an overpair with queen of spades there. Yeah. Now, obviously, if Jay is going to call with king-9, if Kenny turns over queens with the queen of spades, then he can make that call. He's getting 4 or 5 to 1. He's got one overcard that's good, and he's drawing to
right, obviously
a higher
you can't
flush.
think your king is good, but yeah, I guess maybe.
I don't have flush difference, to be honest. Straight?
Oh, nice strong play by Kenny Wynn. I mean, hey, he made a great read.
Well, listen to this. Listen to what Jay is saying. He's saying, what else can you have? There's no way Jay has any clue what Kenny had there, that where he would know that his king was good and he was drawing the highest flush. I mean, that is some balls there by Kenny. I don't know. Like you said, it was a limped pot. Is it impossible one of those guys to have a 6? You know, Mike's not going to get away from a 6.
Kenny just doesn't slow play that much, though. I mean, we've seen him flop the nuts. He usually check raises the flop. I'm going to tell you, it's a weird hand. It's really strange hands.
I gotta make it look like I got a hand. Otherwise,
Button moves over here to Kenny in seat 9.
right.
Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. Politically incorrect. Keeping it real. Now, you were sick on Monday. I thought for a second that you took it off for the immigration day. Were you marching?
Yes. You've cracked it, Tuchman.
That was it,
yeah. Oh, man.
Just imagine Bart wrapped in a Mexican flag walking through the streets of L.A.
Mike straddled, and he raises it 100 more. We need to see his cards in seat 4 again. Queen 9. Ace
Well.
4-7 with a couple of hearts.
Well, Oliver's got a bad ace.
He's going to bet 300. He's probably going to do it here.
Yeah. Take it down.
Queen 9, all black.
Button, again, moves over here to seat number 1. Seems like there's some commotion in the background here, dude. Maybe somebody's pulling somebody's T-shirt over.
We got to
their
fight? We got to fight?
Yeah.
I'll come. I'm all over it, man. Fisticuffs? What are they? Is there an argument going on in the $100 no limit game?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Russ is limped in here with 7-8. Oliver limps. Mike checks it. Four-way action here. Queen
Yeah.
7 deuce.
This is another flop that I love to, if I'm going to bluff, this is a nice flop to bluff into. If you get called, you pretty much know your opponent has something.
Oh, Russ is going to bet 150 here.
Oftentimes I get emails or somebody asks me, they go, hey man, I bluff into this pot. You know, I was the pre-flop raiser and I bluffed into it. But I wasn't sure if the guy had a spade draw or a straight draw, so I continued betting in and then he showed me top pair. And then I always say, I go, well, maybe you shouldn't be betting into a flop like that.
Right.
Sometimes when you bet into those draw-heavy flops, you never know what your opponent has.
Button moves over here to seat 3. What is Sean doing out there, Dave?
Well, you know, Sean is,
Yeah.
he's one of those high-limit players, and a lot of times the high-limit players, you know.
They don't give a shit what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
hey. They're playing poker, you know.
All right. Russ is raised here.
It's not a tournament. They'll play when they want to play. I mean, obviously, a big difference in a tournament.
Russ raised and Mike called with Queen 10. Well, let's see if Russ can continue on here. Rags flop.
Well, that's the new Russ here.
Well, how about Mike is going to lead right into Russ, see if he thought he missed. He's going to bet 350 here. Mike leads right in, thinking maybe Russ has missed.
Well, hey, if you put Russ on big Broadway cards, 8 high flop isn't bad for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in overtime right now?
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions, always appreciated.
Now, it's funny, I'm just looking at our wallpaper, our computer wallpaper, of course, Liz Lou. And I was wondering why I figured you would put Liz Lou in a bikini there, up there.
I like this picture where she's pointing right at me.
Right, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like she's pointing at all of us.
Right, that's one of the, I forget what that photographic technique is. When you
You
take a
can keep
picture of
thinking
somebody
she's
with the
pointing at
eyes. Mike's going to raise it up here with the ace-3 offsuit on the button. He's going to take it down.
Take it down. And you wonder if Mo's a little gun-shy right now. He's really gotten the raw end of it. I don't think Mo's won a hand all night.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
lost
don't know
to
if
King
he's-
Jack,
yeah,
the
he's
runner
taken down
straight.
A pot.
And he's probably stuck about 5,000-6,000.
Button moves here to seat 5. That's Sean.
I'll say it again. I mean, Mo has really, really been getting his ass beat on this show.
Yeah, but the thing is that afterwards he usually makes it all back.
He does. Just on Live at the Bike. He even said it on, I think he said it on Friday's show.
Yeah.
He goes, I cannot win on Live at the Bike anymore.
Mike is raised here with King 4 of clubs.
Kenneth James used to have that problem.
Pick one.
Yeah, Kenneth James syndrome.
Good.
Mo folds deuce 3 in the blind. Mike takes it down.
Got to tell you though, Kenneth James, what class he has though.
Pick the right one, man.
He never wins on the show. He's probably down close to $25,000 on the show. Yet he's still all smiles,
I gotta remember that. They always pick the one
full of class, and he still comes back.
You know, I think that we're actually going to pull one in the hands that he got mixed up with Barry in from September 2nd sometime for next week. Of course, everyone remembers that hand. Folded around a J. And he's
I guess we're doing like a Remember Barry night. Remember Barry night?
It's not like Barry's never coming back. He's taking one night off.
It's as if Barry's in the grave already.
Well, he's going to Vegas on Friday, but I assume he's going to be
He's going to
here
Vegas too?
on Friday, yeah. But I assume he's going to be here next week on Wednesday.
We're both going to be in Vegas, me and Barry?
Same time, yeah.
Oh man, I got to call him.
Button moves over here to Mo, seat 7.
1,000?
500. 500. 1 and 1.
500.
500.
Actually, I'm free rolling, huh?
Mike has got ace-king here, and he just limps, Dave. He loves to pull that limp re-raise with his hand, and it looks
he
like
does.
Jay might raise.
Ace-king is one of his favorite limp re-raise hands.
Jay raises to 200 here with 6-7.
It's almost the only hand he does it with now.
And Mike is just going to check. He's just going to make the call.
The problem is, though, is Jay is not in there with an ace. Now, if
Right.
Jay had ace-jack or ace-queen, it'd be a great play.
Wow, look at this, the ace, and Jay's got a gut shot here.
Does Jay take the card?
I don't know. We'll see here. Ace 3-4. He's going to bet.
I was
That's
gonna say,
200.
that would have been great instincts if Jay takes the card, hits a 5, and breaks Mike.
You wonder if such a weak bet, if Mike slow plays here and just calls, can Jay spike a 5? It looks like Mike just called. Yeah, he did just call. Oh, the turns is 7. Let's see if Jay takes a card now.
It doesn't really change anything. If Mike had the ace, the 7 doesn't help you. Although it does give you more outs, obviously. Jay's
going to bet again. That's 350.
Yeah, Jay can catch a 5, a 6, or a 7 here. He's about a 4-to-1 dog, though.
And Mike is going to raise. He's going to make it 700 more. And Jay immediately calls. And we've got over a $2,000 pot here. Jay has outs. Oh! And the river's a 5. And Jay gets there with the straight. Now, it's an obvious one. It's an obvious straight.
Yeah, but why would you put Jay on a 6?
I'm just saying, I mean, he could be in there with any 2.
The problem is, though, he can't beat 2 pair now. Ace-king cannot beat, say, 5-4.
And Jay bets 1,500. Mike calls. And Jay is going to take down a $5,000 pot there with 6-7. Well, you know, if Mike bends the cards there, if Mike had actually check raised on the flop, which I think he was trying to, he would have won the hand there.
I just want to give you a little advice at home. If you're sitting there, if you usually play on the internet, and you come into a casino, and you get a bad beat,
don't bend the cards.
And you bend the cards like that,
yeah,
they won't let you play.
Right.
Mike is special. Okay?
We've seen him rip the cards up.
We make exceptions for a few players, okay? Is it fair? No. It's just the way life is. Okay?
Oh, man.
Deal with
That's
it.
great.
So
Yeah, you can't pull that off at the $200 game.
I've seen people do that. They'll sit down and they'll go, hey, I saw him do that. Why can't I do it? You can't, okay? I mean, it's one of those things. Mike also, he tips the floor men well.
Right.
He takes care of everybody that works here well. He does actually work here also on the other side. He can get away with it.
Yeah, Jay. I don't like the way these cards are running. As he turns on the vacuum.
Unbelievable stuff. Button move over here to Russ.
The thing is, it doesn't hit a 5. You're probably going to call me with a fucking second pair. 7's the second pair.
Let's listen to Mike and Jay here.
It's nice. Really nice the way that hand panned out.
Bigger raise, you might take it down.
I think you're still calling me.
Bigger raise, I might go over the top. If you're all in, I got to look.
I'm still losing.
Button moves over here to Russ in seat 8. Live straddle here by Mike.
That was sick.
Again, we're playing 25-50 no limit hold'em. Purple chips are $25 chips. White chips are $100 chips.
Now, Mike does have a propensity to go on tilt.
Yes, he does.
Let's see if he doesn't.
Well, he's picked up Queen 9 in the straddle spot here. And Jay's going to raise. He's going to make it 325 with 9-10 of hearts here. And I think Mike's coming in here with Queen 9 in the straddle spot, Dave. I got a feeling. I mean, it's Broadway, somewhat Broadway, and he calls. And he's dominated here. Jay is dominated. Here we go, 650 heads up. Well, misses both players.
Sure.
Goes check, check. Turns a 9. Uh-oh. Unbelievable. The case 9 here, Dave.
You know what's so funny?
And Mike is going to bet. He's going to bet 400
They
here.
both have garbage hands. But this could actually be fireworks.
Oh, man. This is unbelievable.
Only between these two guys.
$400 bet here by Mike.
I have a queen high flush draw.
Mike says I have a queen high flush draw. And Jay's going to raise him.
Mike might move all in here. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Mike moved in. I
Jay
would
makes
not be
it
surprised.
800 more here.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if Mike moved in.
Mike bet 400. Jay makes it 1,200 to go. 800 more here for Mike. The pot is now 2,500, 800 for Mike to call.
Mike's thinking it through. I would not be surprised. The board is real draw heavy. You don't want a 4, an ace, a 6, a diamond, or a club to come off. I think Mike moves in here.
And look at this. He lays it down.
Oh, man.
He lays it down. And you wonder if Jay's going to show him. Is Jay going to show him? He shows him the 10. He shows him the 10. You know, it's funny. And he actually tells him he had 9-10. Tells him he had 9-10.
Oh, and a 6 on the river, and Mike would have won it. And I got to tell you, oh, man. And Mike's obviously a good player, but 2 hands there. He pays off when he has the loser, and he throws away the winner.
Yeah.
That's the worst. And I really thought Mike was going to move all in there. I really did.
Button moves over here to seat 9. Can he win?
Bad read, Tuchman. God, I'm so stupid. Stupid.
Remember, this isn't the old Mike, Dave. I mean, it's quite possible that Jay might have been sandbagging an overpair or something like that.
All the power to you. I got to tell you. Not only did I think Mike was going to move all in, I think it was the correct play to move all in.
Heads up here. 9-3 deuce. And Jay had raised it. He hits bottom pair. And he's going to bet out. And there you go.
Queen deuce. Aptly named the Isaac.
Well, Queen deuce takes it down. You think it's correct to move in there?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Against specifically in that circumstance against Jay, yes.
You have to think if you get called, you're behind, right?
No.
No? You put Jay on a 9 with a weaker kicker?
No. Okay, this is it. You got to think this through, okay, Bart? Okay, I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to take it 4 steps further, okay?
Please don't.
Okay. The flop comes out nothing. Check. Both players have nothing, right? Both players are showing they have nothing. Okay, the turn comes at 9. Mike's going to take, in Jay's mind, Mike takes a stab at it with nothing. Well, Jay thinks, well, my 9 is good. This guy is full of shit, okay? So I am going to take it back from this guy, okay, because he's stealing. Well, Mike then goes, wait a second. He thinks I'm stealing, and he's going to re-steal it? Well, you know what? I am going to steal it from him.
That wasn't the issue, though. The issue was, I said, if Jay calls you, you can't think your hand is good.
Why not?
What do you think?
You didn't go the 4th step with me, okay? Mike throws a bet out there.
Getting back to the action here. Four-way action.
I'm going to stay
Limped around.
or I'm going to walk out of the booth.
Mike's got trip 8s.
And nobody else has anything.
8-8-4 here. And Jay's going to bet. Jay's going to bet a flush draw with an overcard.
I can't believe you don't see what I'm seeing. Okay, I'm going to go through this here.
And what is Mike going to do? He is just check called here. And we could have a really big hand here. Mike's slow playing trip 8s, and Jay has a flush draw. Oh, the turn's a queen. Let's see if Jay takes a card. Uh-oh. No, Jay's going to bet here again. He's going to bet 550 here. And Mike is sandbag trip 8s here.
So you can even hear Jay saying it. You thought I was making a move, right?
And Mike is going to raise. He's going to make it 1,500, it looks like.
I need somebody to bend the card so I can go through my whole thing.
And Jay moves all in over the top. And Mike is going to call. And we're looking at a 1 card for about a $10,000 pot. And the river's a club. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. And he tears the card up. Perfect. He tears it up.
Oh, good job, Mike. I got plenty of time to go through my spiel now.
Oh, no.
That's killer. That is killer. And and after this hand, you're telling me it's not capable for Jay to make a move?
Oh, my. That's about 10,000 there, folks.
Oh, man. And Mike, who was up 4K, is now down 4K. What a turn of events.
And he rips it up. He rips it up.
Just go outside and give me all your money. I mean, you don't have to do it creatively. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus. What a spanking. Oh, my God. I can't believe that. Okay. Now, I got to go through this because this is driving me nuts. I can't believe this. Now, back to the last hand. The flop comes out 5 high, right? Okay? Both players check.
Chips!
Now, Mike, I'm going to ask you a question. And just go play along with me here, okay? Mike, is Mike capable of trying to steal a pot there?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, is Jay capable of knowing,
Re-stealing.
of re-stealing, knowing that Mike is stealing? Is he capable of bluff raising here? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is Mike capable of knowing that Jay is on a bluff. You roll your eyes like this has never happened. It happens like once every 2 weeks.
And you think that Jake might even call with something as weak as like ace high?
Well, Mike, no, not ace high, but a pair of nines, 10-9. He had top pair. You don't think that Jay could have thought that he was on a steal, or that he thought that I knew you were on a steal, so I was bluff raising. I know that hurts your brain, but you've got to think that. I got to tell you, if Mike moves all in there with queen 9, I think Jay calls with 10-9.
Can you give me some of the stuff that you're on right now?
You've got to be kidding me. I mean, after watching these guys for the last year, you don't think that would have played out that way?
I think
there's no way Jay lays down 10-9 there. He thinks Mike is full of shit. They both think each other. They both think that they're both on shit, or full of shit,
well said,
or on shit, or whatever the hell you want to say. Jesus Christ, I'm driving me nuts here.
Yeah, are you on tilt, Dave?
Driving me nuts. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, shit.
Russ raised it with queen jack and he took it down.
Who cares? I mean, I just can't believe you don't see that.
And we're having another setup.
I mean, especially the following hand, Jay makes a move. And once again, do not try that at home. You cannot get away with that.
Oh, man. What a horrific play. Or horrific beat, excuse me.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I thought maybe Jay would take a card there on the turn, huh? I mean, I guess there's always the chance that Mike is doing it as a bluff.
Yeah, I guess.
I got to tell you, it does hurt my head. Sometimes it's difficult to get into these guys' heads.
No, of course. But I mean, that's what I was trying to go. Obviously, it's difficult for us, but we're trying to venture inside these guys' heads. And my whole thought is they're always thinking the other guy is bluffing. So they might be re-raising bluffing. And then going one step further, going, well, you're bluffing because you think I'm bluffing, so I'm going to bluff you back. And I got to tell you, Jay is now up, and only because of 2 suckouts. He makes it straight on the river with 7-6, and here he makes his flush on the river.
Well,
2 times.
Mike's flopped top pair, and he's going to bet out with queen 6. And he's going to take it down. 2 Bartgasms right in a row there.
Oh, that was insane.
2 and 3, hand in hand.
That was absolutely insane. I mean, it was a series of 3 hands, really. It was the straight that Jay made in the river. Then he gets Mike to lay down the best hand in queen 9. I mean, the only hand out of the 3 that Mike actually would have held on to win, he folded.
Obviously, Jay, all his club outs weren't pure either, since Mike had trip 8s there. Yeah. He had, 8 outs. Yeah, we get an email here from John Pinkowski out of Anaheim. He says, hey, I think you guys should put more tournament final tables on Live at the Bike. And the problem is we tried that. Once in a while, we will put a tournament table out there. The problem with it, we're going to get a chop pot here, aren't we? Yeah, we are. They're going to chop this up. Tournaments generally don't play well because of the high blinds. Inherently, nobody has deep stacks. And what ends up happening is you pretty much see a lot of pre-flop moving all in, and you never see post-flop play. And as far as we're concerned, and I think most of our viewers share the same thing, post-flop play is a lot more interesting than, okay, shove.
I raise with ace-king, I call with queens. Or I raise with jacks, I'm all in with 4s.
Yeah, live tournament unedited formats are really... I mean, whenever you watch something that's televised that is an edited tournament, WPT isn't that bad because it's 6-handed and it's 2 hours. But say when you watch the World Series of Poker, 8 or 9-handed, 1-hour episodes, some of those preliminary matches, all it is that. I mean, you don't see any hands played out.
And the problem with that is, I mean, that's the best of it.
Yeah.
They're only showing you the best 7 or 8 hands.
Right.
I mean, imagine if we showed you all the hands. Basically, you see a lot of pre-flop raising, everybody folds. That's not that exciting.
4-way action here, limped around. Jack deuce 6 on the flop.
Having said that, though, we will try to put maybe a tournament final table on occasion.
Check to me.
Gets checked to Mike, and he's going to bet out with the gut shot, backdoor spades.
And I got to tell you, I'm glad you waited for the Bartgasm.
Well, Oliver's going to get away from it.
I mean, the fact that it came out naturally.
There you go.
And Mike shows the bluff, 5 high.
And Mike is really, really steaming, obviously.
Get a nice email here from William Frick. Thank you, William.
Again, that was about, like I said, about a $9,000 or $10,000 pot. Unbelievable. And Jay didn't even think twice about calling there.
And the funny thing was that Jay just gave Mike a bad beat, say 5 minutes ago.
Right.
And if Jay hadn't given him a bad beat, that first bad beat made him an extra 3,000 because he had more money. And suddenly Jay is the big stack at the table, isn't he?
Jay's going to raise. You wonder if these two are going to go bowling later on tonight.
Yeah, well, I promise you if they go bowling, Jay's not going to give him 41 pins.
See if you can suck out of
Who gives somebody 41 pins?
Jay's raised here with 6-7, and Mike is called with king 8. And here we go to the flop. Well, open-ended straight draw here for Jay, and Mike has got second pair. Jay's going to bet.
Well, that's enough for these guys to go to war again.
250. And Mike is check raised. Oh, this is going to be it here again, Dave.
And Jay moves all in. Yeah, this is yeah, you're right. It would never happen. Are you kidding me?
Wait a minute. Jay just called here.
Oh, I thought you moved all in.
No, hold your horses. Turns at 10, and Jay makes the straight.
Of course.
And Mike is going to bet into him. He bets 800. The pot is already 2,500. Jay's got a made straight.
I think Jay's going to move all in here.
Oh, this is incredible stuff.
I'd be less than surprised if you called me with a gut shot.
Well, what are we going to do? We're losing Sean.
Yeah.
Again, it's about a $2,500 pot here. 800 to call, and Jay's going to raise. He's going to make it 2,000. But look at Mike's hand. He's got third pair.
Yeah, but Jay could be doing this with, say, I don't know, Jack something. Jack 3.
Yeah, Jack 10.
Well, there you go. Mike is putting him on Jack 10. Well, you can't beat Jack 10.
Yeah, there's
so.
not a whole lot Mike can
Yeah,
beat.
there's really nothing Mike can beat.
I got King 8. Best 10 on the flop. Once again, you sucked me up. That's unbelievable. How many times can you do that? You guys got some kind of contract going?
I got to tell you.
Oh, man.
I consider Mike a friend, and I don't root for him to lose. But when he's losing, he's so much funnier.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable. Live at the bike. Unedited, unscripted, and politically incorrect. I mean, I tell you, you watch some poker on TV, and you got to understand, when you watch it on TV, you are seeing the best 10 hands, the best 6 hands. And they still don't match these hands.
Well, Mike straddled here again, and Sean is gone. Sean is gone, so we're going to play 7-handed here for a little over less than an hour. And Jay has raised again.
Why not?
He's made it 325, and this is a two-man show here. He's got King 10 off suit. And everyone else is just along for the ride. Well, Kenny Wynn's got pocket 8s here on the button, so he might join this ride, this hand.
Yeah, I would imagine he will.
He calls. Now, Mike has got a little connected 3-4. Is he going to call in the blind?
No, he's not. We're going to see this 3 ways. 2 ways.
2 ways. Heads up here. King 10 against 8s. Here we go to the flop. Well, not a bad flop for 8s.
No, not at all.
See if
Really
Jay
good
gets
flop.
involved. Jay checks it. And I'd imagine that Kenny's probably going to bet here. No, it goes check, check.
Wow.
Turns an 8, so now is Jay going to use that card? And he's going to bet at it. I mean, we saw Kenny do this before one time with Barry Woods when I think Barry rivered an ace on him and Kenny had a full house on a trip board a couple weeks ago. And it puts him in a really tough spot again here.
I don't understand it. I really don't.
And now he's going to raise. Well,
I mean, he's inducing a bluff, and it's going to work. But, I mean, how does he know that? I mean, Jay happened to raise with King 10. Couldn't Jay have Ace 10 there?
yeah, it's funny. I'm looking over at our delay there. That hand is coming up right now.
Oh, yeah, they're going to go insane in a minute.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And look at the stack in front of Jay. Wow. And I think we can gonna do a chip count here.
Only 5 players.
Oh, we're
Bad Bart. Bad Bart.
I'm looking at the picture over here, Dave. Oh man, collection pot here. This hand. For what? All right, here we go with the chip count.
Well, there we go. Almost 54,000 on the
Yep.
table. Jay's got the table covered now at 13,000. Russ is really at a free fall. Remember, he had over 12,000
Yeah.
at one point. Oliver up to 8. Mike has rebought before, and Mo, I got to tell you, I mean, he's down about 5,000 or 6,000. I don't think he's played a hand in an hour though.
Take a look at the differences. And Jay is only at 3,000.
He was down 4 or 5 right away.
And Mike is down 5. Mo is down 6. Kenny is actually the big winner here.
Yeah.
Well, Mike straddled here. We get a $200 raise. It looks like on the button here by NK. We haven't heard from him in a while. Jack 9 of clubs. Mike calls. Mo's in there with deuces. And Russ is in there with King 9. $800 pot going 4 ways. Well, Ace 6-9. Looks like Russ has the best hand here with King 9.
Yeah, I think so.
Now it's going to get checked over to NK, who is the pre-flop raiser. He does not bet.
With second pair.
Turns a 4.
I'm really surprised NK did not bet there.
And now, you know what? I think Russ is going to bet with King 9.
Why not? And now what does NK do? I'm really surprised. NK, the pre-flop raiser, why wouldn't you bet there when it gets checked to you? We saw him do it earlier, and it worked. I don't understand this. I'm surprised. And now he's forced to lay it down. And I don't think Mike is Mike going to call this?
Well, he's got a pair of 6s. Oh, and he makes the call.
Yeah.
And this is probably going to go check unless somebody hits 2 pair on the river.
Yeah, Mike needs a 6 or a 7 here.
Here we go to the river. And the river's a deuce. And Mo would have spiked a set on the river. Check. King 9's going to take it.
Yeah.
There it is. Email here from Dave Jones saying, Mike has picked up a very obvious tell on Jay when Jay's weak. He folded because Jay was not showing the tell. Unfortunately for Mike, Jay thought his 10-9 was actually the best hand.
Right.
So there you go. Email here from James Rangel. There was that guy's Bartgasm. Oh, natural. Button moves over here to C3.
That's right. Live the bike. Home of the natural orgasm.
Wow, we got about 50 minutes left in the show here. $175 raise here by Kenny Wynn. And look at this. Oliver is going to call him about with King Jack. Now, that's a hand you're not probably going to get involved in with Kenny.
Now, there's one thing I want to say about Kenny, and I'll say it right after this hand. Something interesting that I've been kind of watching him.
Wow, top 2 here for Oliver.
Now, it's funny. I saw the Jack first, and I thought maybe Oliver would get in trouble, but obviously with top 2.
Kenny's going to bet 350. Kenny has 6 outs here to the 10 and to the queen.
Oliver doesn't really slow play. Oliver's going to probably make it at least 1,000 to go.
I feel good winning like that. Believe it or not.
Yeah, he's going to... Well, it looks like he min raises here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, why not? You almost hope Kenny's got ace-king.
I got like 10 of those.
Now, Kenny's got outs. He needs a 10 or...
Well, he min raises here. Like you said, he's got 6 outs. Do you call here? I mean, he's almost getting 6-1 or 7-1.
Plus the implied odds. If a
Yeah.
10 or a queen come off, you're good.
He's going to... Is he re-raising here? He's going to come back over the top. Wow. Maybe he thinks that Oliver has king-queen.
I think they're jealous of Jay and Mike.
So Oliver min raises, and Kenny comes back over the top, 900 more. The pot is now 2,700, 900 for Oliver to call.
I mean, let me ask you this: what are the hands you're scared of if you're Kenny? If you're Oliver, what do you put him on?
I'm
The
not
only
scared.
hand you can lose is a set of 9s.
I'm
right?
not scared of anything here. I mean, we talk
Nothing?
about. Well, we talk about a cooler hand. I mean, yeah. I mean, he could have a set of 9s against top 2. That
What would you
happens
put him on?
sometimes.
Set of pocket aces?
I think maybe he does the same thing with ace king or with aces here.
Okay. Well, if you
Don't
think
you
he has aces or ace king,
Yeah.
maybe you just call here, let him bet one more time.
Well, there
and
are a
then
lot
you
of
call.
scary cards that can come for you on the turn.
Of
you know,
course,
so-
I'm just saying that. I mean,
Yeah.
those are the hands you put him on here. If you put Kenny on specifically ace king or aces, do you just call this? Because if you re-raise him
He's
and
probably
he
going
has
to fold
aces,
those
he's
hands.
going to throw it away.
Right.
If you re-raise him and he has ace king, he's going to throw it away. I want to make more money. Okay, I'll smooth call this. Let him bet 1,500 into me. Then I re-raise him all in.
And the problem here, though, for Oliver is if he does that and a 10 comes off, I don't think he's going to put Kenny on a queen, but he's actually coming back over the top right now. He's going to come over the top now. Kenny's got the information that I'm sure he was looking for.
Of course. And, he lets him off the hook. Even if Kenny had pocket aces here, Kenny would lay this down. I mean, there's really no draw out there. I mean, think about it. Queen 10's already there. I mean, you really think Oliver's making this move with 10-8? There's nothing you can beat. Kenny is just really posturing here. He's trying to play it like he has aces or ace-king. He doesn't want to make it look like he was making a move, which is what he was making, really. Yeah.
You know, when they,
Trying to
Oliver
get-
really does play at ABC.
He
doesn't
does. I think he was trying to get Oliver off, say, King Queen. I mean, you wonder what Oliver does even with Ace King there. Ace King has got to be scared a little bit as well. Can easily cut out a set of jacks if you've got Ace King there. You got to realize that.
Interesting email here from Michael Shepard, and I'll sum it up here. In
Go
one,
ahead.
One,
Sum away.
one line. Do you think position is more important in limit or no limit? Interesting
Yes.
question. Yes, right, yes. Good old two-word answer, it depends. Yeah.
No. I mean, it's wow. Yeah, it depends on what game you're in.
Yeah.
It really does.
Depends on deep stacks, the stack sizes, the types of players you're playing against. I mean, I think you could kind of give an easy answer and say no limit because you can win more money on one hand when you're in the best position.
Yeah, but limit hold'em isn't position huge?
Absolutely.
Of course. I mean, position is huge in any poker game.
Mike is raised here with 6-10 of spades, and NK is limped and called with Queen Jack. We're heads up for $500 here. Same spades. Well, Ace Ace 7. You would think that Mike probably can bet and take this one down.
Yeah, I imagine so. Not a real good flop for Queen Jack of spades. Yeah, NK takes it down. I mean, any game where there's a dealer button, where basically position is fixed throughout. Now, obviously, in a stud game, position changes depending on what cards come out. But any game where the position is fixed, position is hugely
I can't believe
important.
you full of names. I had Ace King. That's unbelievable. What a bad game. That's how bad I'm running.
Wow. Look at this email from Rick. Robert there. Shut up, Tuck. Tuchman, get off it already. Bart is right. You are wrong. Mike sucks as a player and a human being. Jay is the better player.
Well, that was not my point at all. Thanks for talking. Thanks for taking the words out of my mouth.
Well, I'm going to come out and say that. I mean, I guess that's what he said. I mean, he's quoting you.
Yeah.
Basically, you said that Mike sucks as a player and a person.
Right, in a person.
Okay. Wow, that's some harsh words, Bart. I'll tell you. Jesus.
Oliver has raised it up to 250 here with Ace Queen suited. Mike here is called. I was actually defending Mike on that hand with 9-10. And you were the one that was saying he actually made a bad play.
I liked Mike's game. I thought he misplayed that. I thought he should have moved all in with Queen 9.
Well, Hollywood Russ has got pocket 9s here. Let's see if he's just going to call. He's going to come over the top with 9s here in the blind. New Hollywood Russ. Remember, this is against Oliver's raise. I mean, I might be more apt to do that against Mike or Jay's raise, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the new and improved Russ, but you wonder if he's paying attention to who's raising.
500 more here. And I got to tell you, with the dead money in there, Oliver's getting over 2.5 to 1 here. Problem with Ace Queen is, could Russ be doing this with Ace King?
Yeah, I mean, could Russ be doing it with his kings?
Aces with kings, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. Or queens.
And Russ is actually going to take it down there.
And I don't think you can call Russ's raise out of the blind with Ace Queen suited.
I gotta be
The
running
suited
these
means
cards
really
every day,
nothing.
so choose to now. Can't get a fucking run. Sniff a run.
Button moves over here to Russ in seat 7.
Well, I got an email from James Gelford, and if anybody was wondering, actually, I said my last blog, not the last one, but the one before that, I talked about a hand I had with Alan, where I said, hey, what would you do? What do you think Alan had? And I'm going to put it in the blog, but just for people wondering, I don't know what Alan had. Alan didn't show me, because I bet the river, and Alan threw it away, but I'm assuming he had King 10 or King Jack. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go to liveatthebike.com, click on Under the Gun on the left-hand side, and read, not the last blog, but the one before that.
Jay raised there with King 5 of spades, and he took it down. I mean, Mike on Live at the Bike is just great, because he's just, it's pure reality, really.
It's great. Yeah, he puts it all out there.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't hold anything back.
Right.
But you got to say, I mean, I almost feel for Mike. I mean, he was up $4,000, and he gets his money in with the best of it 2 times in a row. He should be up $10,000 tonight.
Good, man.
Instead, he's down 5.
It's good until you turn on the vacuum.
Hav coming over to say hi to Mike there in the background. Had a
I
good
think
time with
that's
Hav at the
Avo.
basketball game. It was Avo? I thought it was Hav. Okay.
Limped around here, blind and the straddler, ace 6 deuce, couple all spades. And Oliver here gets check. Oliver picks up the pair of 7s here on the turn. And he is going to take it down there with a bet there on the pair of 7s.
Now, I mean, you know what's interesting? Other hand where Oliver had King Jack, I know you and I are not proponents of slow playing, and obviously there were a lot of cards that could necessarily kill your action. But sometimes you've got to take a risk, a well-calculated risk, and, you know, kind of go for it and see if you can win that huge, huge pot. I mean, some people might argue with me, hey, the pot's big enough already, take it down. Well,
And Jay's straddling. You know, it's funny. I kind of said that Jay doesn't straddle that often. Now he's doing it almost. I mean, we are short-handed.
we haven't seen him straddle in forever, but you know what? The makeup of this table, by him straddling, he almost buys himself the button. I mean, Mo is an automatic fold right now. Kenny usually folds.
Three-way action here, $300 pot. Wow, nice flop here for NK. He's got Jack 10.
Yeah, and
Mike's
Jay
got a
gonna
flush
get-
draw. Excuse me, Jay's got a flush draw.
Now, NK's got the 10 of clubs in his hands.
Now, is this the type of club draw you want to chase? It's pure, dry flush draw, but Jay makes the check call. Flop is Queen 9-10 with 2 clubs. The turn's a king.
And NK is a straight.
Yep, NK's got the straight.
It doesn't mean anything, though, because the pair of 10s is good. The straight just makes your hand a little bit stronger, but it doesn't really change anything.
Pot's about 600. Now is Jay going to try to represent here? He bets.
550.
He's going to bet 550 here.
Now, you wonder now, Jay is kind of using this, not only is he representing, but he's also naming his price for his draw.
Well, can you raise here with the jack if you don't have the jack of clubs or you don't have the nut straight? And it is just a call. He just calls.
Yeah, I don't like the call here.
And here we go to the river, and the river's a 10. Well, NK makes trips and a straight.
And Jack High is good.
I think Jay going to give up here? I mean, the pot is about $2,000. No, yeah, he's just going to give up. I think he figures, you know what, NK must have a minimum of a jack here, right, to call there on the turn.
Yeah, probably. Now, the only thing
Or a
is...
set.
Now, if there's not 2 clubs out there, I don't mind the smooth call because you're letting an aggressive player that will bluff, you're letting him bluff into you.
Right.
And he might have nothing. He could have 5 high like he does in this case. But with the clubs out there, I don't want to let him name his price for his possible...
Well, and again, I mean,
Possible flush
the
draw.
thing that I'm throwing out there is, I mean, what Jay might be thinking is it is very difficult for some people who might not be as experienced with the game to raise in that spot unless you're on a club free roll with the jack or have ace jack.
Exactly.
Because does the guy in seat 1 want to raise and then have to call all his chips off for just a chop? Because we talk about that all the time, too.
Oh, of course. It really does put you in a tough spot. The way the hand was played, though, it is difficult to put him on ace jack.
Oh, yeah.
I want to earn those, man. Keep those.
And, you know, you probably would have heard more from Jay on the flop, too, with, like, a jack and the club draw. I mean, that would have been a huge hand on the flop.
You know what? There's some guys, you know, if Oliver's betting into me, I'd probably just call. If Kenny Wynn is betting into me, I might just call.
Right.
But the way Jay plays and the amount of hands Jay plays, I just can't give him credit for a hand every single time he plays.
Checked around here on the flop, turns a 4.
Jay's got the gut shot here. He needs an 8.
100.
Mike is going to bet 100 here. He's open-ended. And Jay calls.
King deuce of clubs.
And neither player has any pair. They're both on draws here. Here we go to the river. And the river's a queen. Let's see here.
10 high is good here.
Mike's going to bet here again.
Well, there's a bluff.
325.
That's 325.
And Jay's going to give up.
And Mike shows him the bluff.
No, it was a bluff. I mean, 6 high was not the winning hand.
Button moves over here to seat 4. And Mo has the big blind.
It's funny, we got a post here from 22 Skidoo. And I got to get to it in a second.
Mike's going to make it 250 to go with Jack 6. Russ linked in with King Queen of Diamonds. You know he's going to at least play here, and he's going to call.
Mike raising with the a hand that has a lot of hidden value. Jack 6.
Well, both players have missed. Check by Russ.
Power of position.
Wow, and Mike does not bet. Turns a diamond. Now Russ picks up diamond. Diamond draw. He's probably going to come out and bet now.
Curious play by Mike.
Russ bet. Mike had folded, but then threw a raise in.
Yeah, I call that. No problem. Okay, 22 Skidoo says here.
I was going to bust you, huh?
He says, as much as I'd love to hear you occasionally analyze a hand on third, fourth, or fifth level of thinking, it would work much better if you applied it to that hand between Kenny and Jason. Jason had Kenny's hand figured out. Kenny recognized the fact that Jason knew he had limped him with an overpair, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Now he says, while Jason and Mike's pissing contest is entertaining, I don't get the sense that they're thinking anything more than this guy is bluffing. And I got to tell you, I disagree with you. I think Jason and Mike really do take their game to the next level. While it often looks like these guys are just having a pissing contest, while it seems like these guys are literally just, opening up their pants, laying their, their goods on the table and seeing who's bigger, I think these guys are both very good poker players. I do think that Jason and Mike take their game to the next level. Just the impression that I've gotten from watching these guys for the past year.
Mo's going to come out and bet on second pair, which is pretty aggressive for him tonight. King, Jack, 3. All right, we are playing short.
Well, Mo's got to play a hand here or there. He's going to blind away his chips.
That was like, honest to God. Truth is, I just clutch up. I clutched up. I started throwing down right in the middle.
Talking about their bowling match here in the background.
Because I just won 35 here.
Maybe they'll have a rematch and Jay will give him like 36 pins.
That's a lot of pins to give somebody.
I got to tell you, somebody gives me 41 pins like Jay gave Mike a couple of weeks ago. I'll play any non-pro.
4 or 5 grand not to Jay.
41
well, I guess
pins?
it depends. Yeah, but it depends on what your definition of pro is. I mean, there are serious league bowlers that I think average like 215, 220.
Oh, I'm not giving him 40.
Right.
But I'm saying an average guy that I meet in the friggin'
in the casino, yeah.
I'll definitely give Isaac 41 pins.
You won't. You mean you definitely won't?
No, I know. I mean, I would definitely take 41 pins.
And we get a raise here by Oliver, and I believe that Mike is called with King 9. Here we go to the flop.
Ronnie's offering me 41 pins.
And look at this. King, queen, queen on the flop. $300 bet and a call.
Well, Oliver's 10 plays. Well, he's
10. Now he doesn't play.
Right. Oliver, three pair do not play here. Both players have kings and queens with a 10 kicker.
And Oliver's going to bet here.
Why does it have Mike as a favorite? What's up with the software?
He bets 500. Mike raises. Mike raises 500 more here.
I don't understand the software. They're saying Mike is a 79%
if a
chance.
jack comes, it's a straight, right?
So he's a 79% chance of winning this hand?
And a call here by Oliver. And the river is a 4, and this one is going to get chopped up. King 10 and King 9. Chop it up.
Well, there's an obvious flaw in that software.
Yeah, that was a little bit strange.
According to that, Mike had a 79% chance of winning the pot. Oliver had a 5% chance of winning the pot, and there was a 16% chance of chopping it.
Yeah, that was strange. That was strange. Looks like NK has gotten up from the table here in seat 1.
Unfortunately, we've only got about 30 minutes left in our show.
Yeah.
So they're going to play it short for a little while here.
Give that 2,000
And they chop it up. Obviously, the other thing about Mike is, as we've seen him really progress as a poker player, yeah, he tends to tilt. But he doesn't do when we talk about sometimes those young Asian guys who are really good players 98% of the time, and then they just really tilt all their money off.
Yeah,
I've not really seen that from Mike recently.
Mike actually tries to use the tilt thing. Sometimes he actually thinks, well, they think I'm tilting, so I'm going to try to play it.
Yeah.
Play it up. I mean, hey, after he lost the hand against the rivered straight by Jay, he got his hand in with the best of it 2 hands later.
Right.
Just lost that one, too. What are you going to do? He had trips, and he loses to a runner flush.
Just enough.
Yeah, we get a raise here by Kenny Wynn. Queen 10 of hearts. He makes it 4:15 to go. And he's going to take it down.
Interesting email here from John. You want to read it? Why don't you read it?
You can go ahead and read it.
No. I take pleasure in you reading this one.
I definitely agree with Dave in regards to the hand where Jay would have called with 9-10. Nice analysis. Basically, the two of them are playing a game of chicken to see who will relent first. Also, when is Mo going to learn not to slow play flop sets? It's another good question, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really understand. I mean, you talked about a hand with him last week, right, when he checked a set in position, and you hit a gut shot, right?
No, I had an open-ended straight draw, but there was a 2 flush on the board. I probably don't even call.
Yeah.
The funniest thing on that hand, I said Barry had actually flopped. Barry Woods flops top pair. Mo flops a set
Right.
There's no reason I should see the turn, and yet I turn the nuts.
Mo's raised up here 150 with pocket deuces. Russ is going to call with ace-8 of hearts.
5,000 behind.
And we got a call here by Oliver with queen 10. And Mike is in there with ace-deuce. Now remember, Mo brought this one in with deuces. And it misses everybody. Deuces are good now.
I didn't hit the flop, so I don't care.
They don't miss. They don't miss the flop. Okay, it doesn't matter. I have 5,000.
And Mo's going to bet 300. Mo is $5,000 behind.
I'm on it. 6,000 more. Coming, 6,000.
And Mo is betting everyone is folded with deuces.
Did you beat ace-3?
And Mo takes it down.
Ace-3.
I mean, he bet after everybody folded.
Yeah. Well, email here from Dave Jones. He says, position is much more important in limit hold'em because the check raise is not nearly as effective in that game. Hey, that's a good point. The only thing that I'm saying is that if you really get involved in certain situations, when you think you can outplay a player in position against a deep stack, you can win a lot more in one hand in position in no limit than you can in limit. So, I mean,
you can get away.
I see what that gentleman is saying about check raise and limit.
Definitely. I mean, you've got to realize no matter what game you're playing, if it's poker, you are going to win more money. Generally speaking, you will win more money with your winning hands in position, and you will lose less money with your losing hands in position.
Limped around here. 3 ways. Ace, king, 4 with a couple of spades. Queen, 9 of spades here. Flush draw. 4J did not bet. Turns a deuce. And now he's going to bet 175.
Jay likes to mix up his game. One day he'll bet that. One day he won't.
This is like a 6-max game on Party or PokerStars. Yeah. You know, it's funny. A lot of those big-time no-limit online pros in a lot of the bigger games are 6-max because you can play more hands. I find it difficult. I think it takes a lot of learning. Like, if I'm going to play 6-max online, I almost like take a couple steps down.
Well,
than I normally play.
Of course. Well, you've got to adjust your play. Obviously, if you normally play 9-handed or 8-handed and you play 6-handed, man, you've really got to adjust your play and know what you're doing, or you can lose a lot of money. Now, it's funny. I was going to comment on Kenny Wynn's play. Kenny kind of plays it. He's a tight, aggressive player, right? But he almost plays it unorthodox. Like, oftentimes we saw the pocket 8s before. That's a place where we'd almost always bet that, right? But Kenny chooses to check it. And then he raises the turn. I mean, Kenny mixes up his game like that. He's not that kind of tight, predictable player. He's almost tight, unpredictable, and aggressive. Really makes his game good.
Mike is raised here with 8-7 offsuit, and Russ is called with pocket 5s. And 5s are good here. Now, is Russ going to continue on? Looks like Russ is going to throw a little bet in here, see where he's at.
There you go.
That's $250 into about a $400 pot.
I like the bet. I mean, if Mike didn't start the hand with a better hand than I have, and I say a pocket pair, there's a good chance I'm still ahead. And you know what? If Mike's got 6s or 7s, who knows? Maybe I can get him off it. Funny thing about this hand, too, is, you know, Mike might not be familiar with the new Russ, where you'd figure, well, Russ would never bet a big hand right on the flop here. I mean, this is pocket 5s isn't a big hand, but Mike might think, well, he's got pocket 6s, I can raise him off the hand now. He's not going to get involved. I mean, it might be a spot where you almost have to smooth call it, see the turn, and then make a move on the turn.
I was going to raise to 700.
That wasn't enough. That was only 425.
There's Russ.
Get a poster on 2+2. What was the last one it said?
Live straddles should not be allowed short-handed.
Why not?
Can't call with 10-9 or whatever the hell you
I mean, I got to tell you, if you're actually playing 3 or 4-handed, if you ever see me in a 3-handed or a 4-handed game, I will automatically straddle anytime I can. Because it almost, first of all, if you're straddling 3-handed, you're straddling on the button, which means you get to act last on every street. You're also getting more money in when you're in position. Now, if you straddle 4-handed, you almost buy yourself the button, because the first person to act is actually the button. And it's oftentimes tough to actually call. Sorry, go ahead.
Email here by Matthew Hunt. He says, I just heard about your broadcast from an interview that was done on Bluff Radio. Decided to check it out. And that is the wacky, what the hell is the guy's name? Wacky Wally?
Oh, Dirty Wally.
But that's tonight, though. Did somebody mention Live with the Bike tonight on Sirius tonight?
That's pretty cool.
I don't know who they would have interviewed. I heard that actually Negrano mentioned the show. He was doing a webcast I'll get to this in a second.
Yeah, we
Get a
talked
raise
about it
here
last night, right?
by Jay with King 9.
I really think you got a horrible hand.
You know, Mike is limped in with Deuce 3 of diamonds here.
By far the best.
Right now? How much? How much? I'll bet it. Oh, no. Look at this. Tie ball game all of a sudden.
8-4-4 here on the flop.
Fucking believe it. Check. See what happened up there?
Live at the bike.
Mike checks,
unscripted, unedited.
I bet this guy, Sean, 1,000.
and Jay's going to bet. Mike is saying he bet Sean 1,000 on the baseball game. Sean, that was in seat 5.
4 high. 3-4 diamonds.
And definitely not regulated by the FCC.
Wow, and Mike is going to make a call here. He's got to be setting up some sort of play, Dave.
You'd imagine.
Turns a jack. Remember, he check called with trip 8s before, about an hour ago. But Jay's looks like he's going to bet again. He bet 700 here. Oh, this is unbelievable. And Mike is going to raise with 3 high. He's going to check raise with Deuce 3 here. Did you ever think King 9 is good here? And Jay...
No, nothing, man.
Jay made a call. Mike moved in, and Jay called with King high. Are you kidding me? Oh!
You went all in with King 9?
No.
3-4, swear to fucking God.
No.
Mike moved in, and Jay called, right?
No, actually, the way it went, actually, it was just that bet. Jay just called that bet, and that was the end of it.
Oh, okay.
Jay just called that bet. No.
What?
Unbelievable.
Are you kidding me?
What a fuck was that? $5,000 mistake?
There's no way that Jay could have moved in and Mike called.
And
Mike
that's what we're
had
hearing
to
in our
move
head.
Mike had to move in. I think that Mike check raised.
60, George.
Jay re-raised, and I think Mike moved in, and Jay called with King high.
I swear to God, I thought I had 3-4 diamonds. Why the fuck would I do that? Why would I call right away with 3 high?
Mike, taking a hand.
No, do me up for a second. I can't believe I just did that.
What?
3,000.
I think he said he misread his hand, Dave.
He did misread his hand. He thought he had 3-4.
And that's why we kept hearing from Ray and Donna that Jay moved in and Mike called with Deuce 3.
Oh, man. And
Are
Mike,
you kidding me?
Mike might flip this table over.
Oh, my God.
Mike might flip the table over.
He thought he had a 4.
If we stop webcasting at some
Yeah.
point, you'll know because Mike threw the table through our production room. So Jay was saying, I mean, obviously, okay, now you have to understand at home, our show is live, it's unedited, and we're hearing in our ear that Jay moved all in, and we're hearing that Mike called, and we're sitting there, there's no way Mike's going to call with 3 high.
Well, let's get to this hand because Jay raised it pre-flop with ace-king and then checked the flop.
Jesus.
And Mike just said he thought he had a 4.
I mean, obviously. I mean, clearly. We thought he was making a move, and we thought, wow, it's a good move. But you know what?
Russ has bet here and Jay is raised. Now, Jay's actually slow played the flop.
This is the thing with Jay. You never know what the hell he has.
Yep, Russ bet out with pocket 8s, and Jay has raised. This pot is now about $1,300.
And you know what? Everybody at home goes, it's easy. Come on. I challenge you. Come on down. You play with Jay. You tell me what he's got.
I can't believe you went back over the top of King high. I mean, what were you thinking?
Wow. You can hear Mike in the background.
Yeah.
Thought I was on a move?
Mike check-raised Jay on the turn. Jay moved in with King 9, and Mike called with Deuce 3. He
Okay.
thought he had a 4.
Now do you think that play that before the Queen 9 and the 9-10, you don't think he would have called it 9-10 maybe?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I never said I didn't think he would have.
Right.
That's all. That was why I didn't want to get into it, because I think you misunderstood what I said.
4-6. It was 4-4-6 jack. For diamonds. I thought I had 3-4.
Obviously.
I was trying to trap Jay. It was what I played.
Wow.
6.
Mike misread his hand.
And I got to tell you, if Russ makes a move here, now Russ is going to throw away the 8s. I was going to say, watch Russ move all in here. Jay calls him and the game's over.
I don't mind doing it for like $500, but for $5 grand,
9 comes on the turn.
that's unfucking unbelievable.
Wow. Again, check raise on the turn. Jay moves in with King high, and Mike calls with 3 high.
You know, it was
thinking
funny.
he had trip 4s.
You know, it's funny. Jay really thought Mike was on a move. We thought Mike was on a move.
Yeah.
The only person that didn't think Mike was on a move was Mike.
Give me 2 great chips and
Wow. I mean, hey,
I had no idea.
if Jay was a gentleman, he would give him the money back.
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Two great chips and
You wouldn't give him the $3K back?
1,000 per.
Oh, come on, man.
Mike is going to buy in for 5,000. That is the biggest misread of a hand in Live at the Bike history. And again, we kept hearing in our ears. And again, this is from Don and from Ray. Jay moved in, Mike called, and Dave and I are looking like,
No.
I know.
We're both saying there's no way that happened.
5-3 deuce here, all spades.
Mike is open-ended with a pair.
And now he hits trips.
Okay, now Mike
And he
clearly
checks
has
again.
trips.
He checks again. And now Jay bets. Mike checks, Jay bets.
Did Mike go all in?
And I think Mike moved in. Mike has moved in here.
See, the only problem with moving all in here is Jay can't call because he only has 9 high.
Right.
Now, if you raise, Jay might move all in with 9 high, trying to get you off your bluff. You never know. This time, actually, Mike did have a 3, though.
And Mike thought he had a 4.
Yeah.
And we were saying because we thought he was setting up a play on the flop, right?
Well, obviously, I mean, there's no way Mike knows he has 3-2 and calls $3,000 with 3 high.
Feeling bad for all this time.
How you like that?
That is insane.
How you like that? I'll literally say that was the stupidest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Legitimately say. Great.
And I like to say that we captured it here at Live at the Bike.
Mike is raised here to 200 with Queen 9 of diamonds. Jay's call was 7-4 of clubs. Russ is in there with 6-10 of clubs.
I think it's safe to say whatever you want about Mike because he'll never watch this episode.
$600 pot here. King 4-3.
Check.
Oh, man, I got to tell you.
Oh, Jay's hit second pair here.
We've all misread our hands, haven't we? We've all done it. I know I have.
Jay's
Not for that
gonna
much
bet
money.
here.
Well said, Ronnie.
Second pair. And Mike doesn't have anything. Jay's got the best hand, and Jay's had the best of him the whole night.
And this might be a time Mike might want to take a break and just kind of collect his thoughts because he's still thinking about that 3K. And like I said, I mean, we all misread our hands. Don't get upset about it. If it happens to you, you go to a live tape, you go to a live game, it happens. It's bound to happen. I did it once in a tournament. I was so mad. I thought it would be cool if I wore sunglasses, right? Because everybody else was doing it. So I put sunglasses on, and I misread my stinking hand. I thought I had a flush, but I had spades instead of clubs. Oh.
Here we go to a chip count. Look at Jay. He's got 18,000 on the table. Let's take a look at the differences here.
Wow.
Jay's up 8,000. Mike's down 11,000. Unbelievable.
Man, you got to feel for him. You really do. I mean, he was making a move with what he thought he had. He thought he had trips. That just sucks, I got to tell you.
Wow. And look at this. We get another hand. Jay's got pocket 9s. Ace-Jack for Russ. And Mike has 9-5 offsuit. This pot's $500. I believe Russ was the pre-flop raiser, and it gets checked around. I think Jay's going to bet now with 9s, thinking he's good.
Why not?
No, it gets checked around again. And the river's a king. And Russ could have represented at any time here now, especially on the river.
Yeah, you know, you wonder if... I mean, I don't want to say Russ is intimidated, but I got to tell you, playing against Jay and Mike there, the way they're going back and forth, it can be a little bit intimidating. You got to be prepared, obviously, to put all your chips in on any given hand. You never know.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I mean, I'm thinking the biggest misread. Now, I've done it twice. Once I had a wheel with an ace, and I actually called somebody with what I thought was the best hand. I thought he said ace high was the best hand. And they showed me like a pair of 5s or something like that. And I threw away my wheel. I was so mad at myself. About a $200 giveaway. And then I also did it in Omaha while I was getting a massage. I said I had trip aces at one point. I had a set of aces, and I thought somebody had a flush, and I threw away the winner for another couple of $100.
Look at this. Mike hadn't moved, and Jay is going to raise here. Jay was going to raise, but now Mike limps, and Jay just limps. That's funny. 4-way action here. 8, 6, 7 rainbow.
Well, Jay is open-ended, and he's got the, well, now he makes it.
Checked around, yep. Turns a 5, and Jay's got the top end of it with Jack 9.
Mike's got the bottom end. Is he going to get in trouble?
And Jay checked it. And the river here is an 8. Jay checked the straight on the turn.
And Mike's got a straight as well. Is Mike going to lose money here?
Mike's going to bet. He's going to bet 100.
Now, when Jay raises here, is Mike going to call?
Jay raises. He raises to 400. And Mike calls. And Jay is just playing Mike right now. Unbelievable.
Ouch. Yeah.
Email here from Ben Powell. Says, hey guys, when you're propping, did you have to play any other games like Hold'em, Omaha, Stud? Just curious. Ben.
Other games other than Hold'em.
Other than Hold'em. Oh, other than Hold'em, Omaha, and Stud. Well, is there any? Well, sometimes we had a 10 mix game.
Yeah, I played a 10 mix game.
We were never really forced to play those games.
Well, it's funny, when I first started propping, the 10 mix game was regularly spread.
Oh, yeah.
And I did play that game.
Yeah, but that was just OE, though, right?
No, it was a mixed game.
Oh, was it?
They played, what else did they play?
It's pretty enjoyable.
I guess they played Stud, High, Low, Omaha. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You're right.
Mo's raised it up here to 200. He's got pocket sixes.
They won't force you to play like deuce to 7. Or Padoogie.
All those bets know what you're doing and you lost.
Can you imagine being like a Chinese poker's prop?
Yeah.
I outplayed you.
Wow. I'm still in shock about that one with 4 high, Dave. Or with deuce 3.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mike misread his hand.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times some guys will actually say they misread their hand, but
Right.
they didn't. But that was very clear. Mike had to have misread his hand. There's no way you call with 3 high.
Yeah, of course, we immediately thought it was Ronnie's fault
I'm telling you.
right away.
I took 2 bad ones for $8 grand. And then
No. I assumed it was Mike. I definitely assumed that was
Ronnie.
Mike.
I had the brain the size of a fucking acorn.
Because Mike turned it over and just kind of sat there like completely,
I thought I fought 3-4.
completely bewildered. Mike is a little hard on himself right now, and obviously, anytime you just give away $3,000, you might be a little upset at yourself. I'd probably be slamming my head up against something.
I don't know why George didn't kick me or something. If he was fucking behind me and knew I had deuce 3.
Thought you're making a move. Why is he going to kick you? He kicked you, I'm going to see it, and nothing was
Well, limped around here between the blinds and the straddle. Jack 10-5. Oliver's going to come out and bet here on a bluff. Well, he's got a pair of 10s, so he's going to take it down.
And CW Siggy says, Howard Lederer just had an interesting lesson on Full Tilt site about slow playing. And it's something that you have been, you've been saying this for a year. He says Lederer was talking about how slow playing not only lets others make their hands cheaply, but it also gives opponents a chance to get away from their hands cheaply. You check, the turn is now a scare card, or a one-liner to a straight, and now your opponent gets away from the hand. Interesting.
Actually, I got to tell you, one of the great examples, too, which happened last week, I think it was in Wednesday's game, was when Russ, Mo's going to bring this one in with ace-king, Russ had pocket jacks, and Barbecue John called him the blind with ace-4, and the flop came Jack
4-4.
4-4, and Russ didn't get all of Barbecue John's money by the end of the hand.
It was unreal.
How do you not get all of somebody's money with ace-4 against jacks there?
Yeah.
Because he played it so cute. It went check on the flop. I think it went bet, call, and bet min race by Russ and a call because a couple of other Broadway cards had come on the turn and on the river.
Well, it was actually runner hearts.
Yeah.
And Barbecue John said, well, maybe this guy backed into hearts or something.
Right.
I'm not going to raise him. Just funny that Howard Lederer says it. And the funny thing is that I'm sure a lot of people will now give it credence, and you've been talking about this for a year.
350?
No
it hasn't
disrespect
been
to Howard
just me.
Lederer. No, I know.
Oliver's going to make it 350 to go, and he's going to take it down.
It's your world, Bart, man. We just live in it.
You got it. Long for the ride, Tuchman?
Yeah. Just hitchhiking.
Bud moves over here to Jay and see poor.
Hopefully we'll go somewhere cool.
And now we're catching up to the delay and the explanation of what happened on that hand.
That was unreal. Nothing like misreading your hand and giving away $3,000.
Yeah.
And maybe more than that, because who knows? I mean, I don't know if he makes the move with deuce 3. He probably just throws it away. I mean, the pot ended up being about a $10,000 pot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Three-way action here.
Trip
10,
10s.
9, 10, and Mo's got trip 10s here with ace 10.
Yeah, but nobody else has got much of anything. Now, the players at the table
And
are
he
paying
checked it, Dave. He checked it. It's amazing sometimes.
on a board like that, too.
Yeah. The turn's a 5. And now he's going to bet 200.
Yeah, Mo loves the slow play. Loves the slow play. Now, I got to say, though, the players at this table, though, if they're paying attention, Mo hasn't really played a hand in the last hour. And this is not action Mo here. This is more conservative Mo.
And is
But
Jay going to make a move on him?
He is.
Oh, man.
And I got to tell you, yeah, I'm really surprised Jay's making a move here. I really got to tell you.
Well, if Mo thinks that Jay might be sandbagging a 10, it's time to repush, isn't it? You hope that maybe...
Yeah, against Jay, I got to tell you, I mean, obviously I'd be right in this case. Against Jay, it's the one spot where you might just check call.
Well, you are out of position, though, remember, too. I mean, you're going to check call and then lead in the river?
No,
lead on the river with the spade?
You might just check call and then check the river, too.
Oh, and
let him bet it. And you're calling no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what comes out there, the jack of spades comes out there, the 8 of spades comes out there. No matter what comes, you're calling. It's a way to play it. I mean, obviously, there's a million different ways you can play every hand.
I can't figure out how I can misread a hand.
Obviously, I'm not. We always say we don't want to slow play, but against a player that could be bluffing with absolutely nothing, hey.
The station on 2+2 says nut low, no good. Deuce 3. Wasn't quite the nut low, but
no.
Yeah, I did. On 19.
You know what? Mike should get half the pot for deuce 3, right? Was there a low out there at all?
Anything you would bet it was 8.
I don't know what happened on the... I don't
2
remember.
4s.
No, 9-4-4. No, there was no low.
No low. Huh, no low.
Mo has raised it up here to 200 with ace-7 of diamonds. And Mike is called here. Gonna play Mike's hand blind, I think. We got ace-7 of diamonds here for Mo. We don't know what Mike has. Well, Mike's got queen-jack here.
Oh, this post by Demon Deke is absolutely funny. That is hysterical.
Well, Mo's going to bet 400. Both players missed the board here. 10-3 deuce. That's going to do it.
Mike goes right. Okay, here. Demon Deke. I got to read this. From Demon Deke over at 2+2. Let's look at it this way. Mike thought he had a 4, and he played it like he had a 4. He got Jay to bite, and Mike insta-called with his quote-unquote 4. So Mike played the hand quite well. Then he's wondering, is that too glass half full? Quote-unquote.
Well, obviously you 100% believe that Mike misread his hand. I mean, there's no question about it. When you call off all your chips.
I mean, if you really want to get deep with this, you could actually say Mike played the hand well, and Jay played it terribly.
Well, because Jay misread Mike, because Mike thought he had a 4.
Right.
You know, on that hand where I misread my hand, we made a bet that I raised it to 1,800 on turn. Can you tell him check?
King 9-6 here, rainbow. I did hear that question. I'll answer there in a second.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. I remember.
Okay.
Mo is bet here with ace-8, and Oliver's called him with king-queen. Here we go to the turn. Turn's a 10. Mo checks, and Oliver's going to bet.
I thought it was 4-4-4-2. 4-4-4-4-2.
And Mo is away from it. What actually happened was that Mike checked, Jay bet, and Mike called. Mike checked again, Jay bet again. Mike check raised to 1,800. Jay moved in over the top, and Mike called.
Okay.
Yeah.
So check raised to 1,800.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess Mike just won 300 from that. Well, there you go.
Well, what exactly was the bet? Was it 1,800 more or to 1,800?
I don't know. I think. Yeah, I think Jay's saying that he only raised it to like 1,400 or something. I don't know. Because Mike was saying, how do you make that move? I raised it to 1,800. How do you make it with King 9? He goes, you didn't make it to 1,800. I thought you were weak. You only made it, say, 1,000.
No, it was definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it's 1,800 more or 1,800 total. I don't want to screw with their bet. But.
Yeah.
Stupidest, weirdest hands I've ever.
Oliver's raised here with 9s. Jay's in there with ace-queen, and Mo's got king 8.
Well, Mo's got 2 pair, but there's 3 hearts out there.
And Mo's going to bet top and bottom here.
Yeah, that's not a flop you can slow play.
And he's going to take it down. I'm just in awe. For some of the stuff that we've seen tonight is absolutely incredible.
I got to say, you never know. Some nights they seem like they might be slow. You never know what you're going to get here at Live the Bike. You really never do. I mean, here we're playing 6-handed, and the action is still great. And it's funny, last night we had our biggest win ever in our 3-500 game, the 5-5 blind game, where Kelsey won $5,000 in a 5-5 blind game.
Yeah, it was crazy.
In 3 hours. And here we have definitely our biggest misread ever.
You already tried that twice.
Three-way action here. King, Jack, 10. Russ has got bottom 2 here. And Mike is open-ended, but if queen comes, obviously it's a garbage straight. It gets checked around. And the turn's an ace. I'm really surprised that Russ slow played that flop. Third diamond. Anybody with a queen has a straight. And now Mike's going to bet. Can you even call if you're Russ here?
All you can beat is a pure bluff.
Mike bets 225.
All you can beat is an absolute pure bluff.
And Russ is done with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Russ did not bet that. I mean, I guess he was looking for the check raise.
Email here from Dave Jones. He said, I would have refunded Mike's $3,000, but I'm old school. Maybe they used to do that back in the days when you misread your hand and no-limit draw.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, I'd love to ask Doyle Brunson and Amarillo Slim if they're going to refund Mike's $3K.
Button moves over here to Mo in seat 7.
They probably tell Mike, yeah, it's out back. You go wait for it, okay?
Get a raise here by seat number 6, Jay, with pocket 3s. 325. Now Mike has got, it looks like, I think he's got an ace deuce here. And he's going to make the call. Oh, what is Mike's hand here, Ronnie? We haven't not seen it. Oh, he's got 8-7 of clubs. Well, he's got a gut shot.
He's got a gut shot and overcards.
And he goes check, check.
He's actually a favorite. Well,
and now he's picked up a flush draw.
Well, he's no longer a favorite, but he's got a lot of outs.
And he's going to bet. He bets 500 here. And the interesting thing about threes is, do you have any information on your hand?
Well, Jay's going to get some information right now.
Jay calls, and the pot is quickly approaching 2,000. Mike's got a ton of outs, and the Rivers is 7, and that's one of them.
There it is. Mike Rivers Jay. Mike Rivers Jay. Finally.
Check.
Some redemption.
Oh, look at this. No, it's not a check. Mike is going to move in. He moves in here. I think he might.
And Jay calls
him.
Oh, my God.
Jay calls him with a pair of 3s. Are you
Mike
kidding
doubles
me?
up.
Wow.
Okay, I'm wondering. I got to throw this at you. Was Mike bluffing there?
I think Mike thought he needed to bet to
Clearly.
win the hand. Yeah.
Wow. And you know what's really odd is Jay probably read it this way. Well, he wouldn't bet. He probably wouldn't bet a jack. He probably wouldn't bet a 7. He'd only bet if he either had a 4 or a full house or a misdraw. Wow. Jay read him as a misdraw, and in essence, it was a misdraw. That
was one of those unique. This is going to be the last thing on the night. That was one of those unique situations there, Dave, with one card to come. It was almost 50-50.
Yeah.
Because Jay can get counterfeited with 2 pair on the board as well.
Oh, there were tons of outs there. I can't believe it. Mike got paid off. And you got to think that Jay paid him off because he goes, this guy would only bet either a monster or a misdraw. And Mike probably bet because he thought he had to.
Limped around here.
Unbelievable.
Oliver checks the ace. Mike checks 8-9, and Jay's going to bet here with a mystery hand. He's going to bet 200. And Oliver here is going to call. Do not know exactly what Jay has here. Jay has King 8 of diamonds.
Well,
now he picks up a diamond draw. But Oliver's going to come out, he check called the flop, and now he bets the turn.
And I don't mind that play at all. Sometimes I'll do that with an ace here.
He bets, and look at this, Jay's going to raise him here with diamond draw. He's going to make it 1,100, and can Oliver continue with the weak ace here?
Well, against anybody else, no, but against Jay, you never know. I mean, Jay could be making this move with absolutely nothing. He could be doing it with a diamond draw. He could be doing it with spades. Who knows?
Pot's 2,500. It's 800 for Oliver to call. And I got to tell you, he's going to face a big bet on the river if a diamond comes or if Jay misses. Instead, he's going to fold.
Yeah, nice semi-bluff by Jay. He takes down. The river would have been a queen of spades. And you know what? I'm not sure if the spade actually might have scared him enough to win the pot anyway. I mean, Jay might have thought that, well, I'm still talking here, but okay. Jay might have thought if a spade comes, I can win it. A diamond comes, I can win it, and that's the last hand.
Well, that's going to do it for us. What an incredible night. Again, stick around tomorrow for 10-20 pot limit. Hold'em. For everybody here in the booth, with Dave Tuchman, I'm Bart Hanson. Have a good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.